Okay, good morning. If you're outside, make your way in. I see people at the registration desk finishing their coffee and walking in. Welcome back. I hope you had a pleasant evening at Videlica, having a few drinks, chatting, networking, getting to know the judges even more. Was anyone given lots of rakia to try and make their pitch worse today? No? No? Okay. I don't know if I believe you or not. Cool. We have got only half a day today, so not as busy as yesterday, but we still have 8 pitches ahead of us. And if we have a look at day 2, so here we go, yes. So actually today it's going to be a combination of the pitches and some very interesting presentations for you. So Andres is going to open for us in 5 or 10 minutes once everyone's arrived. And he is going to be talking about how to avoid mistakes and become investor ready. For those of you that watched yesterday or that were here during the panels, the pitch panels when he was the judge, he already shared a lot of insight with startups here about kind of what things they need to think about immediately and how they can plan for the future to avoid making those mistakes. So that will be first of all. And then we're going to go into the pitches. So we have 8 in the end. We don't have 6, we have 8. And just like yesterday, they'll have 5 minutes to present their idea. They may have made some changes. They may have struck some deals since yesterday and added them in. Who knows? And then they'll have 5 questions from any of the 9 judges again. So this time, the 9 judges will have to fight between themselves to grab the mic. There will only be 3 mics. And ask relevant questions that will help them decide who's going to win overall. Once we've been through those pitches, then obviously the judges have a very difficult task in deciding who's going to be the top 6. Because we don't just need a winner, we need actually a top 6, because there are prizes only for the top 6. So 7th and 8th, unfortunately, will go home with fond memories and a great experience, yeah? So while they're deciding, we have some cool things going on. We have Diana Medimorets, who's going to be talking about innovation and customer obsession at Amazon. So we know Amazon are a pretty big thing. Don't know how much Jeff is worth these days, but it seems to go up $1 billion a day, while his ex-wife's giving away billions every day. So she'll be telling us all about Amazon, how that works, how they are obsessed with customers. And then after that, we're going to have a kind of fireside chat. Nikola Pavicic from Infobip is going to dial in via Zoom. He's the director of the startups ecosystem at Infobip, and he'll be telling us all about Infobip Startup Tribe. So if you haven't heard of that, definitely tune in, because that could be something very interesting to you guys. And he'll also tell us a bit more about Infobip, because they didn't become a unicorn overnight, yeah? It took quite a few years to get there. And that reminds us, that kind of reminds us all that if you're only 3 months or 4 months into your startup, you're not necessarily going to be a success in the next month or 2 months. It could be a year or even more. Yeah, think about some other ones like SpaceX, for example. They've been around for a fairly long time. Think about Airbnb and all the iterations they had as well. So once after that, Nicola and I will have a chat. I'll be speaking into the mic, which will be a bit weird, but I'll survive. Then we've actually got coffee after that. Coffee break. No food. Maybe some croissants. Just to warn you, one croissant has apricot jam and the other one has chocolate. You don't know. You don't know. It's mean. It's like Russian roulette of the croissant world. After the coffee break, we'll be back in here to announce the winners. And I say winners because, as you know, we'll have more than one winner. Yeah, we'll do third, second, and first place. Does anyone have any predictions? Judges, you can't say anything right now. Does anyone have any predictions about who you think's going to win? Do you want me to remind you of who's going to be presenting today? I have it here on a piece of paper. And this is the order. So if you didn't know the order, I have the order now. So first up, we'll have Windward from Nicola Tandara. Windward was the one that was about the regatta sailing stuff, yeah? So that was in there. Then we have Maccabi Agrotech, Marco from Zagreb. Do you remember yesterday I confused Maria and Marco, the names, because they both start with M-A-R, so I got it right in the end. Then we have Calvaria. They're here, all 5 of them. So you'll be 3rd, yeah? Alumnio will join us. Calvaria from Sarajevo, Alumnio from Ljubljana, Diana. Then Easy Pass, Jana and Mariana from Belgrade. That's the tutoring website. DocMe, Josip, on your own today, or is Thomas coming? He'll come as well. So Josip and Thomas from Split. And then IMO Live, that's the online streaming for creatives. Ivan, he's not here yet. I haven't seen that hair bounce around. And then finally, last but not least, PS 1925, that Shefali will be joining us online from India. So pretty much a pretty Balkan feel, except for India. But we can adopt them into the Balkans, I guess, you know? Add 1 billion more people to the Balkans, create the market make the market a bit bigger for us. So that's the lineup today. And looking around, most of you are going to pitch anyway, so you're going to call for your own team. Let me see. Anna Maria, who do you think is going to win? I put her on the spot and she's not sure. She's being very diplomatic. She doesn't want to say. Cool. So really looking forward to seeing those people, especially pitch again, because you normally see a slight change from yesterday. You see they've added something, some new information, or that they emphasize or focus on something that now, after stalking the judges on Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, they know what they want to invest in and what they like to invest in. And remember, you'll have 9 of them. So you've also got to think about the dynamics within the judges as well. You've seen them all be on the panel. Are there some that are better at persuading others? And if so, who are they? And how can you persuade them to persuade the others that you should win? So many things to think about, as always, with competitions. Talking about competitions, did anyone watch the football last night? It was terrible. It was awful. England drew with Scotland. What is that about? And then Croatia got a point, fortunately. So it's all open till the last game. So hopefully England and Croatia can go through together and maybe meet in the final again. Not again, it was semi-final last time. But we'll see. And let's have a think. I don't think anyone else has Slovenia in it. Malta aren't in it. Serbia aren't in it. No, it could have been the group. It could have been Serbia, England, and Croatia. That would have been good as well. Anyway, enough about football. Let's move on. Okay, Andres, he's got his glass of water. There we go. He's preparing himself. So Andreas is the founder and CEO at Silicon Castles. We heard a bit about Silicon Castles yesterday, and now he's going to tell us a bit more about himself. And get your pens and paper ready, or your iPads, to write down all of the mistakes you need to avoid and become investor ready. Over to you, Andreas.
Thank you. Good morning. Excellent. So, I'm glad to be here again. It was amazing yesterday. I really liked the variety of startups and areas and also countries that were present. Really cool. So, I was asked to do something that maybe hurts, but in a positive way, okay? I think hearing the truth very early on when you're in the startup phase is really important. So, I've been in this business really, really long. I did my own startup in 1999. Maybe some of you were still kids. And this was the first dot-com bubble. So this was when companies like eBay and all those internet guys and Amazon started. And when you were able to write internet and you could program HTML, you were already high-tech, okay? This is all like commodity and nothing today. But at that time, this was really cool. So I started a company in Munich. Originally, I'm from Austria, from Salzburg, where I came back now after many, many years of an international journey. And I'm not talking about my career. It was very up and down. And I will talk to you about also a very important thing about failing in one of those mistakes that you can make. So let's get started. It's on, yeah. Or should I put it here? Sorry. Anyway, so technology never works. This is it's always a user mistake then in the end what people tell you. But excellent, now it works. Super, cool. So in those, let's say, over 20 years of dealing with technology and business in technology in startups, I found 10 traditional mistakes. And these typical mistakes I would like to explain to you and also what you can do to avoid them. Number one, this is the biggest mistake. You are all thinking too small, okay? You need to conquer the world. You need to be designing your product, your startup that you want to conquer the world. And trust me, entering a global market and finding your potentially biggest customer. I always ask startups, who is your potentially biggest customer? And then maybe they say, well, it's Samsung in Korea. Well, then please jump in the plane and go to Seoul and meet them. And of course, we have connections there, and then you can meet those people early. And you need to show up there, because they will be very impressed if you from Europe, from Croatia, or from any other place in Europe go to Seoul and want to talk to them and explain to them what you do. This is the first biggest mistake, and especially this conquering the world. This is the DNA of Silicon Valley. My company is called Silicon Castles because I think the same way, but I don't want to live in Silicon Valley, because this is a tough place, and two months a year you have smog in the air and it's expensive, and great place, but I want to live in Europe. So, but you can conquer the world. Then there I experienced a lot of wrong mindset. I know what you mean. Okay, don't tell me too much. Then actually I'm only doing this because I want to become fast rich. And then this is the most funny, I want to become a serial entrepreneur. This is arrogant. This is not what is reality. This is some few people can really achieve and become Elon Musk or Richard Branson. Yeah? What you really have to do is the right mindset. I will fight it, and I will give my best, I will do everything that it becomes successful. This is what an investor wants to see. They don't want to fund you that you become a serial entrepreneur. If you're really good, okay, then you're on the path to do this. But don't go with that mindset. It doesn't help you, because people will feel, do I fund him as a person, or do I get a return on my investment? The third one is the garage complex. And this starts with, my idea is so unique I cannot tell you what it is. The truth is, I tell you, many, many times I do a simple internet research, or my team does it, and you find the same idea. And before that, people tell me this is so unique. Be really careful if you say it's so unique. Or I'm working on this unique patent, and then you find the same one already has been made. So this is not good for you, because you need to be open for input and be happy that somebody tells you what you could improve. Don't believe that your garage holds everything. It's great that you're in a garage, fine, it's cheap, low burn rate, but share your ideas. This is so important. This is another way of difference specifically to the US. If you're in a bar in Palo Alto and you meet a startup in the evening and you don't know him and you start talking to him, they will tell you everything, although they have never met you. And they ask you, can you tell me what you think about this? We don't do this so much. Do this, use it. I mean, you don't have to tell the trade secrets and the patent ideas, no, but you can tell everything else. Talk with people, get feedback with people, share your ideas, and also go to meet customers as early as possible. Don't wait too long. The garage is nice and warm and cozy, but this is not where you make money. Nobody pays you for the garage. Everybody pays you for success. Then this is unfortunately very common. So just a story. 3 founders start the company. After a while, one guy says, well, we don't work, it doesn't work anymore because we were not really friends, because we just were friends sitting on a high school or maybe on the bench at the university. But every time somebody leaves, they keep the equity. Most of the time, oh, I was the founder, I have my right on the 30%, or whatever, my third of the company. And then at the end, there is one poor guy left over. He shoulders everything. He works his ass off, and the others sit in the first row and enjoy, oh, you do it, oh, I'm super cool. You keep working. And then they think, okay, if it's successful, I have then in the end, after dilution, 10% of the company, I've done nothing. This is not okay. So first of all, when you select your founders, don't base it on friendship. Base it on competence, capabilities, experience, quality. If friendship is there, fine. But I tell you, I rarely have seen 2 founders or 3 founders that are equal quality. There's always one guy who is really genius, and then there is another genius maybe, and then it drops down. What you need to do is you need to allow flexible allocation of equity. This you have to do, otherwise investors are unhappy. I will not invest in a company where there are 3 founders in there, 1 is left, and the other 2 have still the majority. I will not do this. There's no right for them, because they've done nothing in the first 2 years for the company to increase, and the poor guy who is running the show is suffering. I'm not doing it. Maybe others do, but I'm not doing it. Yeah? It's unfair to the guy who really works his ass off. Raising not enough capital. This is a very, very popular theme, and founders are sometimes very much focused on their dilution. Okay, if I take this in again and I have a bad year and I need to tank another, put another fuel in the tank, let's say 500,000, 1 million, I get diluted again by 10%, 15%. Well, this is the risk, but you should raise money for 18 months without revenue. This is the rule of thumb. Normally people don't do it, but 12 months to 18 months. 18 gives you a good way through, because after 6 to 9 months, we see if this is successful, your product, strategy, etc. Then you can still turn around and make the change if it's not successful. And by the way, it cannot be successful. It can fail, it's okay. You just need to realize this early enough and not too late, because then you're stuck and then you drive with 150 kilometers against the wall. And you cannot avoid it because the money is over, and then bad investors come and squeeze you. Because you need to, then you sign any stupid deal with an investor just to survive. Be careful. So this is really important. Underestimating the competition. This is something where I see a lot of instances where people say, kind of garage complex-ish, okay, I know everything, I do this, fine. But a simple internet research just tells you, do you have 5 competitors? I've seen very nice presentations yesterday on competition. So this is really good, because you need to know where your competitor is. And then in the tech industry, you always have these potential threats. And this is Huawei, Samsung, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, name it what it is. And in telco business, you have the big telcos, Vodafone, German Telecom, Orange, etc. They might move into your market. If they see that you are successful, they just throw money on it. That's the solution for the big guys. So be careful here, really understand, and learn from the competition. Copying is not illegal if you find some cool design, some cool products. This is all fine, yeah? If you have patents, you cannot be copied, but it's a different story. You need to defend, but now you're looking into the market. Then, this is really bad, guys. If I see a business plan that looks like this, I only look at the first 2 years, and the rest is dreaming, yeah? Because I've seen too many hockey stick. By the way, I did my own hockey stick business plan. So I know that. It's beautiful okay, tops down there, the market, I've seen it yesterday. There's a big market, and then I only get 1%, and over the 3 years and 5 years, this is 100 million revenue. People don't believe it. So, yeah. The third year is always the big year, and nobody knows why. And it's arithmetically correct, because in Excel is a stupid tool. You need to manage Excel, and then you get this nicely done. Yeah. Reality, the hockey stick never comes true. Yeah. And I have to say, maybe in 1% of startups, hockey stick works. Yeah. And this is maybe some luck. Sometimes it's really cool team, so it happens, but in general, it is a bumpy road. So you really need to be realistic, and everything else, a professional investor will not look in year 3 and 4. They will look at year 1 and 2 and want to see the cash waterfall. They want to see the 18 months, I give you $1 million, how long does my money last if you don't make any revenue? And if your revenue maybe will last not 18, maybe last 24 months or whatever. So, and the year 3, 4, 5, this is good for the potential. You know, when you have a good idea and you say, okay, I found my model and I can execute this model. I've done it in this market, and I'm going to the next market, and I can replicate this. Then it could work, but don't be too aggressive. It's unrealistic. You know the chasm? So the key is, can you jump over the chasm from the early adopter to the early majority? And I tell you, 9 out of 10 startups fail here, exactly here. Because they have some customers, few customers, but they don't find a home market where they really play a role. And this is so key. So in this phase, you need to focus. Startups never focus enough, and it is another mistake, but there could be more. But let's talk about this, the chasm. Okay, how you get over the hump that people talk to, hey, you need to be there. And then it becomes like a avalanche. I mean, when was it, 7, 8 years or 6 years ago, Zoom? Nobody knew Zoom. I met Zoom in Stanford University, and they explained to me the idea. I said, wow, cool, yeah, cool, interesting, well, fine, I could imagine this. Yes, but they were early adopters, really. They were innovators, early adopters. They were not even and then, of course, before the pandemic already, they jumped over the chasm. But now they're, boom, they're really in late majority already. They need to innovate because everybody does this now, yeah? In the life cycle of a startup. Failing to cross the chasm means death. Means that the investor will not give you money. Of course, you can change your market, you can, and this is fair. Maybe you have not been successful in this market you have chosen. And make sure that in case you talk to your investor, get him on board that this market you're targeting is the right market. Because when you fail, he also failed. And then he cannot say, well, I was not part of this decision. Try to involve the investors as much as you can. Have really boards, etc. I'm not talking about this, but this is really important. Eh? And then you have a huge issue. You're choosing the wrong investor. This happens very often. Very, very often. Because there are so many investors out there, and I call it, this is an investor universe. So you can be a business angel, you can be a corporate office, you can be a VC, you can be early stage, seed phase VC, B phase, whatever VCs. Then you have institutions, you have funding. I mean, you have a lot of potentials, but you need to think really strongly when you go in there. Who is your partner? People are most of the time misunderstand that having an investor on board means that between these guys with you 7 to 10 years. It's like your girlfriend, maybe. Depends on how life is going. But it's really, this is not like a guy, he gives you money and then he doesn't show up again. He wants the money back. That's why he gives you the money, to make it 3, 4, 5, 10x. And initially there's always the honeymoon. Okay, excitement. Okay, wow, this is really cool. And then after a while, when you deliver the first realistic things that okay, this customer has not signed up. This customer was not interested in my next generation product. I've lost the customer. Then they start wondering, was it a good idea with these guys? Yeah? And then he becomes an unhappy camper. Of course he becomes an unhappy camper because he wants that you deliver success. That's why you need to be very careful in which industry you are and which VC or which investor you take in. And the best is that you analyze, like in the sales mode, you analyze the investor. You need to do it really carefully. Please, startups, you don't do that. Really look at the investor, look where he has invested in. Does he have a special segmentation? Is he going in there? Who is the guy who is signing the deals, okay? Don't take the first money you get. You don't have to. Be really careful. This can be your death, to have the wrong investor. I've had one amazing company. They could have been a unicorn, and these guys have chosen 2 wrong investors, and they could never lift off because they would never get afterwards the right funding from the existing investors. Because good investors, they know, okay, I'm investing in this company. I know that I have to 3-4 times follow on investments. I have to do that. So in case I invest $500,000, in my mind, this is a 2 million investment. I just give 500 now. Because now they need 500 for the 18 months. But I have 1.5 million in the back for this company. Because I want to keep my share or I want to expand my share, depending on how it goes. So investors think like that, good investors. Yeah, bad investors, hopefully you don't do that. Yeah. So, you tend to deliver, you sign too fast. Yeah, I've talked about this anyway. Yeah. And then the biggest issue is you're not investing in sales, specifically tech companies. Yeah? There's a misconception on sales. Okay, our product is so cool, it sells itself. I don't need sales is traveling, dining and wining. I've seen this, they have these huge expense claims every month because they eat and drink and try to, not last year, but it was the years before. And we don't need a dedicated sales force. It's luxury and actually we have great marketing, this is enough. Depends in which market you are, but most of the guys, you are not in really strong B2C markets, so in B2B, this is really key. Marketing will not help us, will help you. So, reality of sales is a very rational process. And this is one of the core competences that we teach in our academy, the go-to-market and sales and negotiations and deal-making, etc. Because this is the key. If you have a product, go out and sell. If you have an unfinished product, go out and sell. We had yesterday the discussions, who was it? In the evening, you. Yeah? Take your half-ready product and go to the customer. And don't say it's selling. Go there and say, hey, I know you, I heard you, or you have somebody who gives you the connection to this guy. By the way, there's a super innovative company from Ljubljana, and can we have half an hour to explain what they do, and they need input. So you go there to your customer, he doesn't know that he's a customer, and you ask him for his input, and you let him become part of your story. And then once this guy has given you feedback, by 99% chance he will say at the end of the meeting, by the way, once you're ready, come back again. Because I like you, I like the guy, I like the product, he likes something. And then you have already won, because You have your customer that is open to you, and you need, this is very important, you need in B2B warm introductions, warm leads. Lead generation is a super tricky thing, yeah? But the best is somebody knows the customer that you're meeting, and you got pre-introduced to the person, and they know a little bit about you before go there. This is really key. So, as said, as soon as you have a prototype, meet the customer. Don't say it's selling. I want your feedback to my product. And you will see people are very friendly. Yeah, they say, oh, wow, really nice people, cool guys. Hey, I like his shirt and whatever. And then maybe he done a startup many years ago, or he's done some innovation. Well, fine. So you have this connection, and then you can go for this, because investors want to see a clear sales strategy, and also want to see the first good customer signed, and not on a handshake, on a real piece of paper, yeah? Where it says, I commit to do this, by that, and I deliver, and I pay. Because selling is land and expand. Selling also goes beyond the first order. If you have a first order, and then the customer doesn't order again, you've lost the customer. It's worth nothing. Yeah. That's why this is the smart piece in SaaS model or licensing model, that you have long-term contracts. A contract signed in licensing business, let's say you go for a 3 or 5 year contract with a large corporation, the contract itself could be 10 million value. And then suddenly your company value is going up nicely, because I can say, well, I have these 5 big companies signed up over, let's say, make it simple, 5 years, so my value is 25 million. Plus I have IP, plus my team is cool, my value is 35 million or 40 million. That's how, that's how we think, okay? How we can increase value. But selling, invest in selling, and then invest in a professional sales team, in a real pro. They're expensive. They are the highest paid people in the company. They're sometimes paid 3 times than the CEO. And they always have to, when I have to fight with people, say, look guys, you have equity. You have 25% of the company, or 30% or whatever of the company. And you're young. You can live with this, I don't know, whatever. It's a salary which is okay. But the sales guy knows if he's not successful, you kick him out. I've been in sales for 25 years, because selling is wonderful, I think. Yeah, it's convincing people. Yeah, but you need to understand that those people put their head on the block. Because you as CEO sitting at home being the product guy, you're not burning your relationship with the industry, because they're industry experts. You need industry experts that know the industry deep in and out, and they live in this industry. And if they be unsuccessful, they lose their credibility, and then they're done. So that's why it's so important. You need to pay salespeople well. You need to have professional salespeople with industry background. And you have to do this as soon as you have your version 1 of your product. Not the prototype thing, yeah, you don't need a sales guy, but then you need a professional sales guy. All right, so summary, I think these are the startup problems. So let me come to something that is very important. This is this right of failure, or culture of failure. It's okay to fail. For me, it's fine to fail fast, and don't fail the same way again. This is the key. Don't do the same thing again. This is the real problem many people do, that they do it again and again. Then they're stupid. Yeah? Okay, so now I want to give you some philosophy how we think a startup is built on strong foundation. And I talked yesterday about European diamonds. It's just a branding thing. I like diamonds, so why not? Yeah, diamonds for the girls. Everybody likes diamonds. So how is a diamond structured? Okay, a diamond starts with you. You are the talent. The talent has an idea. And then this is an opportunity, a business opportunity. This is the foundation. You need talent, an idea, and there must be a business opportunity. And then you start building up on this. You have a team. You're not alone. You have technology IP. Out of this idea, you're forming something tangible. On the other side, you start creating a business model out of the opportunity. How do I make money with that? Later, you start a company, or the functions of a company. Then you have a product. And finally, you have a go-to-market strategy. So this is the basics, okay? You need to tick all these boxes to be successful initially, because then the fun starts. Then you go market, you do marketing. You scale up, more people, sales, boom, boom, boom. Sales, go sales. Then you go ecosystem partners. You have partners in your ecosystem, in your business that you need to work with. You need to be strong in partnering. Take in other people from the community in the market that you're working with. And then sales again. Sales, sales, sales. In parallel, you should listen to mentors. And in parallel, you need to fight for financing. And sometimes people spend too much on financing. The real big issue is you need to get the product out, you need to sell it, etc. And this should be 95% of your work. And the financing, you need to do this every year once, but then use your investors you have. Use your board helping you. Don't do everything yourself. You're the CEO, you're the chef, yeah, you're the boss. You can say, I want you to help me. Greg, you're my investor, can you please get the next investor in? He will tell me, Andreas, but you should get the next. Yeah, I'm doing it, but can you help me? Can you make introduction to this and this guy? I think these guys fit to me. He knows them. Yeah? In every board meeting, if you're a good startup CEO, every board member walks out with at least one task. This you have to achieve. One task for each board member after each board meeting. They need to do something for their money. Yeah? I'm sitting on many boards, so sometimes, guys, you need to challenge us. You're working your ass off, and we sit there and wave and say, okay, fine, it's good, the numbers are good or bad. You should really be aggressive. Challenge them. Okay, so this is how we think, and then finally you should be happy and you should be awarded, and hopefully you can exit. So what successful startups do well? First, they think global and want to conquer the world. They follow their passion. They have a balanced management team, competent. They're market focused. They acquire a lighthouse customer very early. Strong IP, scalable product. Start selling early, execute well. They have mentors, ideally an international board. They listen to input, and they don't run out of money. That's the key, because if you run out of money, you don't have a startup. So, what from my perspective are the key criteria of investing? It's a valid business idea, market size is big, ideally global. It's a competent and passionate management team. I want to see the fire in the eyes of the people. If somebody's in front of me sleeping, I don't know if this guy will fight really for me, for my cash. I'm not sure. They need to really run. And I tell you, I would say everybody's doing that, yeah? The business model, money for value. So what is the value proposition? It's not the feature, the technology, it's the value, the benefit for the customer. It's really important. The scalable product must be really scalable. I know a lot of cases where technology is not modular, etc., so you always have to dig into the basement to start a new customer. Not good. IP, if possible. I know not everybody does it, or it's useful. Deep competition analysis. I really want to see where the threat comes. Clear go-to-market strategy. Okay, are you direct selling, indirect selling, partnering, reselling? How is the strategy? How is your partner network doing, etc.? First reference customers, really key. I want to see the customer. I want to talk to the customer. Before I invest, I want to at least talk to 3 customers because I want to see what they say about you. Salesforce, mentioned already, solid business plan, plausible numbers, not hockey stick, etc., etc. So this is kind of, I would say, the end of my thoughts. And I've also talked to Lana that and then legal due diligence, yes, of course, should be legally okay. By the way, I'm a lawyer, so this is by training. I've never really done law, but it's useful to execute deals. So I've talked to Lana, and I'm really happy to say that I would like to invite one of the winners to my academy, and I talked yesterday about it. And this is especially after watching to you yesterday, this go-to-market side is really key for you. And I think this is what we're focusing on. And it starts in September. I've put some brochures up there. If you're interested, approach me. But I want to have one of the winners come to Salzburg in our castle. It's a beautiful castle from the Middle Ages, and there we do our academies and our offices there. So that would be cool. And in order to give you an input, I want to share a little video. Hopefully this works now. Can you start the video, please? I think I cannot do this. And thank you so much for your attention.
There's a deep sense of vision and wanting to get things done, and I've been able to grab the ball and run with that.
I kind of thought that it would sort of be like back to school kind of thing, but it's really not. It's more of an adult camp for people, like-minded people who are serious about their business and have great ideas or great products or great companies. It's a beautiful place outside of Salzburg.
I know of entrepreneurs, co-founders who will meditate an entire morning and then come down to work. And simple things like practicing meditation makes one a lot more resilient to stress.
We usually concentrate on the market, on the product, on the IP, but who are you? Be connected to yourself.
The density of the content is really amazing, so you need to really charge your batteries.
I saw this academy as a chance for me to get out of my day-to-day job and to think about what kind of new ideas we could develop around it.
I really wanted to get first-hand knowledge from people who have founded companies and grown them.
The main purpose of the Startup Executive Academy is to make those selected startups. We'll really get them here and to educate them on the go-to-market elements of a successful business.
And that's one of the things I love about being here, is being able to share some of the aspects of what I learned in Silicon Valley with these companies that are definitely diamonds in the rough, definitely hidden diamonds, and they just need a chance to be exposed.
If you want to be really successful, if you really want to grow, if you want to be a global unicorn, you have to think about your pricing and your product architecture like in a global perspective. Being a part of the startup VC ecosystem, I see what's happening all around the world, and I can really tell you that the stuff we are having here is really the top-notch level.
A lot of simple topics that you overlook on day-to-day operations, so you get a little bit of did I actually think about that, or why not think about this? And the work that we are doing on this business model canvas, I love it.
We're looking at very promising entrepreneurs, and Andreas has done an extremely good job bringing together a group of entrepreneurs from all around Europe. I mean, we have one from Ukraine, right? I mean, from all the different areas out there, come over here. And what does this accomplish indirectly over a period of time is creating that support group, that network.
So I see as a network around this program as a very valuable one.
And a lot of it has to do with entrepreneurial culture. And so I feel if I can add to developing positive, empowered entrepreneurial culture here in Central Europe, that would be fantastic.
Already I've met so many people who have just amazing products and companies, and I'm hoping to meet a lot of people who share the entrepreneurial spirit, so I can exchange ideas, keep in touch with, help out, both get help but also give help when possible.
And this is what we want. We want successful people, we want successful alumni, and we want grow people and grow ideas.
It was a good combination of theory, practice, experience,
talking to people who've done that.
Yeah.
And have them access to them, because we want this quality, we want this intimacy that people feel comfortable.
Yes.
And this confidence level absolutely has risen. And also the ability to turn around an idea into action. You saw that really happening.
Yeah. And they saw it too, and that's what really helped.
And the will to be globally successful also came suddenly to, okay, actually my product would work anywhere.
Yeah.
Go conquer the world.
Okay, can we have another round of applause for Andreas for an excellent presentation, please? First of all, I've been reminded by the organizers, could you please all wear your masks while inside? Otherwise, what's his name? Plenkovic will come and fine us all. So if you're speaking, you don't need to wear the mask, but while you're in here, please wear the mask. We're live streaming this, we're taking photos, and Lana doesn't want to face a 10,000 kuna fine. Although we do know a few people with some money that might pay it for us. Who will pay? Who said that? Oh, excellent. Okay, Eva will pay. Thank you, Eva. Okay, so it's time for the pitches. Let's just make sure our judge is here. So do we have Gergo, Judge Greg? Yes, over there. Michael is here, lovely pink mask. Arian, here he is, excellent. Eva, welcome back. Sarah, there you are, straight in front of me. Andreas, of course. Paulina. And Diana, Mulțumesc, and Renata. Excellent. So our judges are here, and they're ready. Their pens are poised. And now it's time for our first finalist, Nicola Tandara with Windward. Round of applause, please.
Thanks, Michael. I will. Okay, when we're ready, can we start? Hi, my name is Nicola, and let's talk Windward. Every year, more than 300 clubs and sailing clubs, nautical clubs, are organizing more than 2,000 regattas just in Croatia. They spend tens of thousands of working hours on organization. The problem is that organization of regatta or any kind of sea-based competition is a really logistical nightmare. It takes, in average, a team of 6 people to average 4 weeks to organize just one smaller regatta. And during our market research, we have found out that more than 80% of our customers are losing more than 100,000 kunas or more than 15,000 euros yearly just on all kinds of different inefficiencies. Some from lost revenue to bad time management, and the most interesting part is that 20% of that cost is just in equipment loss. That's the reason why, together with Sailing Club Split, one of our most prestigious clubs in the country, for the last 8 months we have been developing the platform that will automatize all the repetitive tasks of organizations, increase efficiency, and drive down cost and time needed to manage regatta. Here you can see a simple demo of our project. This is the brain of our application. We support basically everything. More than 77 classes, online deposits, live tracking, team management, fleet management, basically everything you need. So this is one-stop shop for everything managed to manage regatta. We are especially proud that our best value proposition is built-in equipment tracker that is intelligent and that tracks equipment and saves our customers money, and it's built by default. For the last 3 months of testing, we have managed to decrease the average number of days to organize a regatta by 9 days, and we have saved our customers about 2,000 euros with a pre-released app. Here you can see the front part of the application for our competitors on regatta. You can see them live tracking their scores and everything, and this part of application is communicating with the organizers part. So our organizers know what's happening on the field, and our competitors know everything about every bit of information they need to stay competitive and get to the end of regatta. This part of application even works offline on the sea. So if Bloomberg is to be believed, the market is worth about 6 billion euros per year, and there are more than 1 million regattas organized by 250,000 clubs yearly, and the market was growing on average 3% per year for the last like 4 or 5 years, I think. So big market means that competition is numerous and strong, but on this pricing to features graph, we will put ourselves above our competition because we beat them in almost every category. We are more involved. Some of these categories didn't even exist, and we have like automated rules and policies that nobody even bothered to include because of the huge scaling barriers. Currently, we have 37 users, testers, and customers that we are working for, and our money comes from software as a service subscriptions. We are having 4 subscription models from $100 to $1,200. We even have freemium models, ads, premium membership, and multiple more streams of income from provisions of deposits, web shops, and advertising. Where we are going, by the end of the year, we are hoping to reach 40 customers. We are partners with Croatian Sailing Federation, and we are currently in talks with Montenegro, Serbia, Slovenia, Italian, and Greece sailing federations to scale their legislation and rules into our application so we can go to their market. We have currently more than 40 test regattas to test our solution, and our application will be the go-to app, official app for your organization of European Championship in Snipe class this September, and this is the time we will launch complete full first version of the application. This is my amazing team. Some brilliant people, Tomo, Givo, our sailor, the one CEO and the one who came up with the idea, Ante, and me. And that's it from me, guys. Thanks.
Okay. Where's your biggest customer?
Our biggest customer is here in Croatia, currently.
No, where is it globally? Who's the
globally,
biggest?
Asia and
Yeah.
USA.
When are you going there?
Because of the costs.
No. When are you planning to do this?
I'm not really sure. We are beginning with the local market because we have the advantage that Croatia is the largest charter fleet in the Europe, so we are taking advantage of that. And the problem we are trying to address is it's not really that easily scalable. So we are basically going from door to door, working with our customers, and we just cannot go to America and say here and on the bluff. We have to have like real product that we are sure with completely to go to America and offer our customers, because our competition is currently tailor-made for VIP large clubs, especially in Asia and USA. And we want to avoid direct conflict by building our brand here in Europe first, in Croatia, and then going outside.
Be fast.
Thanks. We'll try.
Question on that track. Who is your sales force? Because all the team, they were programmers. So who is selling and who is discussing these clubs?
Okay, so funny story, we couldn't find anybody to work with us in the advertising and sales, so we are doing the sales on our own. We started with the Startup Academy like 8 months ago here in Split, and we were going from door to door because Givo, our founder, is professional sailor and he had a lot of contacts inside of the industry. So he was like our door into the industry. And we basically started selling from door to door. We have like 4 or 5 clubs just in Split, so we started there, then went to Trogir and so on.
Hi, Hi, Nicola. Thank you for your presentation again. You were talking about the market size being 8 billion, right?
But if Bloomberg is to believe, that's the only data we could find that it's worth about 6 billion euros.
What does it contain? Like, what is the 8 billion? Is that the amount of money they spend currently on solutions, or?
No, so just the sailing market, we included, but I'm not sure, but the article said that it's like renting the charters, sailing equipment, deposits, and so on, ads, advertising, that kind of stuff.
Right, so that's not all you're covering, I guess, right? You're only covering part of that market.
We are covering just the part of that market, so basically equipment, charter, organization, ads, but there are much more in this market than we are covering. We are primarily organization tool to lower down the costs and increase revenue, that's all.
Cool. Thanks.
How big are your competitors?
They currently, 4 of them combined take about 25% of the whole market that we are trying to compete with. Where are they? ClubSpot is our #1, the biggest competitor. They basically do what we do, but on narrower scale, completely in USA, and our feature sets are pretty similar to theirs, but they don't have like the tracking, equipment tracking or some other stuff that we are basing our value proposition on.
Thanks. And where is ClubSpot based, or?
USA.
So they're covering US market.
US market. No one from our competition. Quindo is. I think Quindo or Proragata is Hungarian, and nobody from our competition didn't bother with trying to include the rules and regulations of the countries. Europe has specific rules in that regard, and we are really trying to scale to every market and include every sailing federation, and nobody from other teams even bothered to do that. Thanks.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. I would like to ask about the pricing model. Do you have a slide on it? What's the customer acquisition cost?
Currently, we don't have a number on it, but it's high because we had to go from door to door to sell, and even after we sell, we still have to spend a lot of money to teach them because our customers are not really eager to learn the new tools. So the next step would be to bring down the customer acquisition cost and do some kind of automatization process to teach them instead of us how to use the whole tool. Because currently we have to spend like 3 or 4 or 5 days just with each of our customers so they can get the grasp on everything. If that answers your questions. Thanks. Thanks on your questions.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Thank you, judges. Okay, we'll move now online, where we're heading to Zagreb to see Marco. Hello, Marco. Welcome back. Oh, he's in a vineyard today. Bear with us 1 minute, Marco. We can't hear you. You're currently muted, Marco. There we go. Okay, bear with us. We're just fixing our sound. There we go. Excellent. Okay, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning from Zagreb. So my name is Marko Micekovic, and I'm a CEO and Director of Maccabi Agritech Research and Innovation Technology for Agro-Health sector. One of the main problems of today society and the world is our climate change, which has got a negative impact on the environment and also on nature and humans. So, as you probably didn't know, but 26% of the greenhouse gases is arriving from the agriculture. Also, agriculture is using 50% of the land and 70% of the fresh water. Also, it increased the level of nitrogen, so it increased the level of eutrophication, so it has a negative impact on the biodiversity. So all of that, it has got a negative impact on the greenhouse effect. It increased the temperature, it decreased the number of rainfall, it decreased the number of fertile fields. So because of that, we need to unlock the potential of indoor farming in the smart cities of the future. So our solution is a smart capsule technology, which is an agroecological product, which was produced by green chemistry process of encapsulation of bioactive components in different types of formulations, which has got a technology with a 3-in-1 effect. So at the same time, it is a plant protection, plant nutrition, and time release mechanism. So you could see there is a huge increase of publications and patents activity in the area of agrochemical encapsulation in the last several decades. So we had these types of investigations in the last 4 years. So we set up different types of formulations on different plant cultures in the open field, greenhouse, hydroponics, and foliar. So we have got a prototype ready. So we need to upscale our production. So we need to make some kind of partnership with industry. So we are focused on the business growth, networking, marketing, and collaboration. All of this started on 2018 when we got this award on Zagreb Startup Factory. Also, we have been a part of 8 Climate Geek Accelerator, and also we have got our first EU project under Horizon 2020. So our main focus is to make a connection between industry and academia to work together on new products which could be put on the market. So our next steps are in the area of marketing, commercialization, visibility, and partnership. As I said, this is an agroecological product. So we are mainly focused on the local organic producers in Croatia. So we're thinking locally, but we're growing globally. So we would like to compare the market of European Union and the world. So you can see that we have a huge increase on the global market of organic foods and land area of organic production in the last several decades all around the world. And currently we are in the process of raising funds for the patent application and protection. Also, we have got a lot of competitors, but they are very big and international companies, and they are mainly focused on the mass market product. But our product has got unique properties, so we are hoping to turn our competitors into our clients. What about the financials? They're going through the different national and international projects, but also through different acceleration programs, and also by direct selling of microcapsules to our clients. All of this, it will be absolutely impossible without my team, which has got 17 years of experience in different scientific fields, like chemistry, organic chemistry, analytical chemistry, organic synthesis, biotechnology, microbiology, food processing, global agroecology, and also management. So different types of financial support. We could increase our investigations, but also we could start a green revolution in agricultural production. At the end, it is a time of action. We need to start to work together. Both scientists, both these people in industry, and policymakers and politicians, because with our action today, we could make a change of our world in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years from now. We need to work together. And I should say something at the end. We are not the owners of our earth. We just borrowing from our children and grandchildren. And I think that we can't allow that one day our children will ask us why you didn't do nothing if you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is it all right? Thank you very much, and it's a very timely solution indeed. I'm just trying to grasp the market. So you mentioned that you are targeting first the local organic producers. So what is the percentage of the total producers in Croatia?
So in Croatia, I was make marketing research, and there is about 2,400 organic producers in the Republic of Croatia. Last year, we had 20 test buyers, and this year this number increased, so altogether we have 60 of them. You know, I'm on the level of laboratory, so I cannot produce a huge amount of these formulations. To start some kind of bigger production of these formulations, definitely we need to have an industry partner, and then we could go with a huge amount of other clients, not only in Croatia, but also in the European Union and the world. So this is what we are hoping for.
Thank you, but do you know like what percentage are they holding of the total revenue of agriculture production? So I'm just trying to understand. The total revenue of organic producers in a whole agricultural production in Croatia is around 15 to 20%. Okay, great. And have you thought about like maybe you talked about politicians are trying to do some lobbying, so it would come from above, that it would be maybe
yes, yes, we have been trying to make a connection with Ministry of Agriculture. But you know, sometimes they don't quite understand what we're trying to do, and they are telling us, okay, you will have our support, but you know, they're just telling like that just to cut off us, you know. But we are also having a discussion not only with our ministry, but also we are having discussions with other partnerships in Europe and outside of Europe.
Thank you.
Is it still? Wow. Okay, so you draw up a pretty big market. I was wondering, like, how will you serve that? What's the kind of manufacturing that this kind of product requires? And also, can you elaborate a little bit more on the product, because I didn't really understand what is that? I saw the pictures.
So this is a new type of agroecological product, because we are working on synergism between microorganisms and chemical agents. On our opinion, the microorganisms are the future of the agriculture, not only in Croatia, but also in the European Union and the world. And I could be modest and to say that maybe in 50 years from now, probably humans will go on the other planets in the space. To start the production, you need to set up a soil to produce a food on the other planets. And to do so, you need to use microorganisms which will prepare this soil, and they will prepare this atmosphere. About these technology requirements, you need to upscale the production. You need to make the change of the production, and you need to start to buy new instruments or new machines. If you want to start the production about 100 kilograms of formulations, you need to invest about 200,000 euros. And you need to start with education of these people which are working in this agricultural production, that this new technology is not a GMO, that it is something which will improve the quality of the final product, because with this you could produce the functional food. When I'm talking about the functional food,
I don't think we do not have time for. Sorry to interrupt, but I think we do not have time for the full description. But yeah, I think I get it. And can I just ask, how do you produce it, and how much does it cost, and what kind of profitability ratio do you have?
So I'm producing on the laboratory scale for now. So the price of 100 grams of formulations is about 1.5 euros. And the selling is by direct selling with these local organic producers, not only in Zagreb but also in Dalmatia and in Istria, and they have got a very good experience with these formulations, and we are increasing the number of clients.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There's no time, sorry. Okay, thank you, Marco. A round of applause. Sorry, Renata. Okay, next up, the team of 5 from Sarajevo. We have Selma Trzic from Kalvarija.
Hello, good day everyone. My name is Selma and I'm here to present Kalvarija, an online matching tool for connecting mentors and mentees for medical research. Now, have any of you ever wanted to be world-class scientists like Marie Curie or Alexander Fleming? Because we have. This is our team, the 5 of us. We make Kalvarija with the 3 of our brands. So there you can see Emma and Sumaya, our IT sector and document and event manager, with the Remedies Lab platform. You can see also Faruk, our CEO. He is the host and creator of a medical podcast, Anamnesa, and in the middle there's Faris and me, and we run our own ABC Doc platform. Now, every human being has a need to research his or her surrounding, just like a newborn baby. And our motives are offering a research platform to ourselves and others, making our childhood research dreams come true, and also working for ourselves. Now, our main problem is that the Balkan countries are contributing only 3% to the total science. And we're talking about our country, that's 0.017%, and that's really low. So our other problems are a non-existing mentorship platform, as well as the lack of medical practice and research, especially during COVID-19. Now, in the first year, we want to develop into a self-sustaining business, hoping to make 125,000 euros. By the third year, we wish to have 5 employees with the average salary for Bosnia, as well as make Kalvarija into a research center, conducting research projects for big pharma companies. And then we hope to make 500,000 euros. And by the 5th year, we want to be a regional research platform with 16 employees, earning our first million, hopefully. Now, our potential obstacles are the inability to connect to national, regional, international markets, difficult access to online billing, dependence on large pharmaceutical companies, as well as access to necessary financial resources. But these obstacles won't stop us. They're just there to challenge us. And as Marcus earlier said, everything that comes in our way becomes part of our way. Now, for our business model, first of all, we have 3 packages, the free, basic, and premium package. The free package gives you access to educational materials, podcast episodes, as well as connecting with your colleagues. Basic and premium packages are mentorship packages. The prices you see here are on a monthly basis, and the difference between them is that in the basic package you get a 5-on-1 mentorship program, writing your research paper, publishing it with our help and financial support. But in the premium one, you get a 1-on-1 access. You get to do practical skills with your mentor, and hopefully you get a job after that. So we're trying to build opportunities for employment also. Now, our other opportunities are YouTube monetization on our existing YouTube channels, investors, license acquisition, ads, workshops, and a medical clothing line. Now, Emma and Sumaya are going to give you our QR code cards. We also gave them yesterday, but we really want to connect with all of you. And we're planning to post videos on our platform about quick hacks for a better lifestyle using the research that we already have. So, for example, how to stop smoking in an easy way. Now, we have done our research, and 97% of students in Bosnia never had a mentor, and in the medical world, that is really terrifying. Now, working with the Balkan countries and research centers in all of these different cities, we hope that the potential beneficiary number is 200,000. Now, our target groups are medical students from medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and healthcare studies, and also mentors who are going to have multiple opportunities for advancement. For example, get their PhD, become have Primarius titles, or even get better jobs. Now, we are here today to develop, because we have a developed business idea after extensive market research, we have researched the registration process, and we have developed an implementation plan. And the most important thing, we have a team with the skills and competencies needed to realize this idea. When it comes to finance, these are our financial needs for Bosnia and for the region. So for Bosnia, it comes to about 9,000 euros, for the region 90,000 euros. And to make all of this happen, we need a lot of support and mentorship. Now, the most important thing is that coming here has already made a part of our dream come true, but we have realized that we need to dream bigger. We need to conquer bigger steps. And we hope to use Kalvaria to make healthcare systems in the Balkans, but also in the world, a much better system. Because when we are connected, we are stronger. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question about your customers from your freemium models, how are you planning to convert the free users to basic or premium?
Well, every medical student and every doctor or healthcare professional needs these papers. So it's not, do you want to do them? It's the fact that you have to do them to advance in your career. So right now, we have done market research. We have a pre-buyer list of 250 students from our city. So we think that it's not going to be that hard because this is something that we're all searching for in the medical field, definitely.
So what are they using now?
Well, currently we have our 3 platforms. So we are using them for medical research also, but it's not on that scale. So we don't have mentors, we are mentoring right now. And they are writing for free, so they don't even get anything out of it because we're really hungry for science, especially in the Balkans.
Thank you.
So in the Balkans, we don't have any competition. We really went through that. But in the world, there are mentoring platforms for students, especially by the big universities in America, especially. But none of them offer like finished research papers. We offer them to finance publishing those papers in licensed journals, as well as helping them prepare to present them. And then it's a whole experience with the research project.
Thank you for the presentation. Sorry, that was very loud. You said you have done the research already. What sort of feedback you've gathered and where you're at right now with the product? I get you need the money to build it.
Well, right now, we are still trying to get the money to build the whole product, but we have tested it on ourselves because we have tried to find mentors, work with them. We have done like research papers and presented them, so we know how to do all of those steps. We just need to make the platform, and we're in business.
How many mentors?
Well, currently, there's 14 from the ABC Doc platform. And many others, I mean, we have also pharmaceutical companies already interested in it. We're working with Novo Nordisk, and we have some investors from Canada, from Q1 Tech. So I think with their help, we can get much more doctors, but especially from private clinics, because they don't have that many opportunities.
I think it's a really interesting business, and many tried, particularly in the US, to do this to sort of democratize and make this research journals available. There's probably a good reason why they're not free and available. How are you planning to tackle that? You had a slide of the challenges. I think some of the challenges are not that easy to overcome.
I can turn it around, sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, here it goes. Okay, so when it comes to our challenges, it's mostly the fact that we don't know how the international market is going to react, because people in other countries do have more access to mentors, but however, they don't have enough space to do their research. So we're giving them space, but also the access to necessary financial resources, that's one that we can get through, we can pass that. And it's really all about challenges and not obstacles here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I like your way of thinking. I think you just also have to think about the mindset of these people. They would go publish their journal for, unfortunately, that's how the industry is, right? Thousands and thousands of pounds for getting that journal. you have that hurdle to cross. What would make them put the journal on your platform and make it available, right, for the mass market?
Well, we're planning on paying for publishing the articles in their journals and finally making our own journals. So in a couple of years, we hope to have a journal that is licensed and that is relevant so that we don't have to go and search for other journals to publish it. But in Bosnia, people usually really want to publish our papers because we're not that involved, and especially in the region, so we have a lot of opportunities for that, even free publishing and everything like that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Next up, we're going to welcome back our lovely friends from Slovenia. We have Alumnio with Diana. Round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Just checking to make sure. It's working. Okay. Hello, my name is Diana and I'm a proud member of Alumnio team. As we all know, there is a need to preserve the environment for future generations, and aluminium is the key material for low carbon future. Did you know that by 2030, 30% of global passenger vehicles will be electrical? Our new aluminum alloy is improving the efficiency of $120 billion electric vehicles market. This is a very bold statement from our side, but I invite you to take a closer look with me. As part of the European Green Deal, the Commission proposed to raise the target for greenhouse gas emission reduction by 2030. The need to lowering carbon footprint will increase the implementation of electric vehicles. This means that there will be a higher demand for lighter materials usage, aluminum materials usage in parts of the vehicles. But not only regulations, also users of electric vehicles need vehicles with improved range to satisfy traveling remotely with environmentally friendlier cars. However, manufacturers cannot simply replace a material with lighter one, since there is a trade-off between weight and strength. Our new aluminum alloy is higher strength because of induced quasi-crystals. Higher strength of the alloy creates the reduction of the material, therefore the reduction of the weight of the whole product in which the new alloy is going to be built in. Our new aluminum alloy is 20% stronger than the supreme commercial alloy available on the market. We have already made a case study on the recreational vehicle market. In the comparison, I included our aluminum alloy, commercially most used aluminum alloy series 6000, and higher strength 7000 series. Green column represents plate price comparison between all of the alloys. Gray column represents plate thickness at equivalent strength. So if we focus at the series 6000, we see at the bottom of the graph, we see that our solution saves 39% of funds, while decreasing the weight by nearly 59%. Let me showcase the value of our solution. Firstly, as shown, our aluminum alloy is higher strength, therefore it enables superior crash-resistant structure for better price-to-quality ratio. Secondly, reduced weight improves the range of electric vehicles, but lighter vehicles also improve road safety by shortening the braking distance and lowering the impact energy in the event of collision. Thirdly, since our alloy is quasi-crystally strengthened, less material consumption is required, hence foundries benefit from higher productivity. Aluminium is used in a wide range of applications, such as automotive, aerospace, maritime, and others. Therefore, our beachhead market will be tier-free suppliers of various transport industries. In 2020, global aluminium market was worth more than 100 billion euros, with European market covering more than 20%. Huge potential. Alumnio will give out licenses to high-pressure die casting foundries. At license rate of 2% per generated revenue, inflow will be approximately 30,000 euros per foundry, annually speaking. In light of the competitive advantage provided on this table, we see that our aluminum alloy is 20% stronger than the high commercial alloy series 7000. Our limitation is in temperature exposure above 350 degrees Celsius. But innovative car manufacturers such as Tesla and Daimler increasingly recognize that well-engineered aluminum car parts are as safe and strong as steel, while up to 40% lighter. At this very moment, we are in the industrial testing stage, and we are also filing for patent, I would say we are editing our IP options. We are also, in the following months, we are planning to apply to a Y Combinator, and also we are actively preparing for our operational environment for commercial production. And finally, we come to the best part of our presentation, our team. Our business team consists of Giga, Martina, Matic, and myself, Diana. Who is doing our research? Professor Boštjan Markuli is head of chair for meteorographic laboratory at University of Ljubljana. He actively participated in the development of novel aluminum alloys for Audi A6 and Airbus 320. Blaž Leskovar is his associate, actively working on innovative metals, and also on innovation and research and analysis. With that said, I would thank you for your attention, and you're kindly invited to ask us some questions. Along the way, my colleagues will help me with that. Thank you.
Hi, so firstly, thank you. I've been sat here waiting for an opportunity to ask an intelligent question. So, besides the risk around the temperature above 350, what are some of the other drawbacks of the material?
Well, our drawbacks are, firstly, we are currently in industrial testing, so we need to overcome some challenges along the way that we aren't really aware of as part of the, the quasi-crystal relations with the other mechanical properties. And with this kind of stuff, you never really know how material is going to behave. Our limitation, the main limitation is basically above 350 degrees Celsius, and also in the thickness of, we can't really do like a really thin layer, so.
The maximum thickness is 6 millimeters, so we cannot go above 6 millimeters.
Okay, and in like an environment that's with moisture, I was actually in the oil and gas industry, so certain metals will react negatively if they're in close proximity. So does their car manufacturers need to be mindful where the material's placed in relation to other materials in the vehicle?
So you mean like corrosion?
Yeah, crevice corrosion.
Yeah, so corrosion is better than in all aluminum alloys. It's similar to 6000s, which has the best one if we choose between the aluminum. So yeah, the best among the aluminum alloys.
Okay, thanks.
Diana, you have founded a company now in Ljubljana.
Yeah, we are in the process of.
Okay, and how is and your equity split is going to be how between you as the founders, and what does it mean that Iskra is a strategic industrial testing partner? Did you already give some commitments to them? Do you have any business angels? What is the status of these two professors? How are you gonna split this 100% shares now?
Yeah, so right now we are, will you maybe better?
So as for the founders, we split it 25% each. We have a vesting. Regarding Iskra will have a free license because they're helping us in this early stage. So they want to produce the material, but for unfortunately free of charge. That was the price that we had to pay. Sorry. The professors are employed by the university, so they will be the advisors to the company only. Sorry, money? No, I mean, with researchers is that the more than money, it's that their product is in the market, so they're trying to implement their innovation in the market, so that's the goal for them, not the money and anything else.
You have a proof of concept right now?
Yes, we are building a prototype. We have also a company that wants to do a pilot project.
How much money you need to manufacture this, and do you know what would be the cost per unit?
It depends, really, how many you need to repeat how is the scale. The cost of right now of the foundry, that it's around 20,000 for one test.
But, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to add that our business model is license-based. Therefore, it's on the manufacturers that they need this capital, not from our. We don't need this capital for manufacturing purposes. I wanted to clear that.
But I reckon you need some capital.
Yeah, we need some capital, yes, but...
You're not looking to fundraise?
No, we participated in European Institute for Technology for raw materials, and we got a funding of 15,000 right now.
How much run rate does that give you? For how long can you run on 50,000 euros, I assume?
No, it's for 5-6 months.
Okay, so not much.
No, not much.
They need more money. That's what they just said. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Good work, guys. Congratulations. Thank you, judges. Probing into their ideas, asking them about their team and their capital. So the rest of you get a bit of an advantage to hear what these judges are asking. Next up, our friends from Belgrade, Jana Antic and Marijana Jovanovic. Easy pass.
Hello, thank you again for having us here. How many times have you promised yourself that you will start learning today, tomorrow, on Monday, and suddenly you find yourself just a few days before the exam in a situation with a lack of time and motivation? It is difficult for students to find an adequate educator to help them with a specific subject. On the other hand, it is difficult for educators to have continuously booked classes and to earn additional income. We are EasyPass, and we connect educators and students in just a few clicks. The idea was born when Corona started, so schools were closed and everything was transferred to online. But not everyone was prepared for this. So this is our contribution, because schooling can stop, but education must not. Our mission is not just to connect educators and students, but also to improve all aspects of education at all levels and for all actors. It is a multi-sided platform, and this is how it works. For students, we firstly have different marketing activities to create awareness and to create a habit for this kind of booking. Then they should use the main filter and choose the subject. Out of many professors, choose the adequate one and to schedule a class. For professors, we also have marketing activities to acquire them to the platform, and they become providers by simply creating a profile, and then they're all set to start holding classes.
These are our main These are our main benefits. So for students, they have very detailed and precise search that enables very personalized service according to individual requirements. Then all educators are at one place for any subject. We also have a lot of ratings and comments that students can use in order to choose a professor. For educators, they will have continuously booked classes. We will provide them an opportunity to earn additional income. They will have advanced search analysis, also premium and yearly subscription models, as well as online educator community where they can share their experiences with other EasyPass educators. Regarding our competition, when we compare ourselves with some of the major platforms for sharing knowledge, such as Campster on a domestic market and Udemy globally, we realized that Our main difference compared to them is individual approach. So they are focusing on learning through general courses, and we want to emphasize the importance of one-to-one model of learning. Our revenue model is cyclic, so educator pays a subscription fee, then EasyPass use that generated capital to promote its platform, then consequently students start scheduling classes and educators start collecting income, and the cycle can goes all over again. In Serbia we have 1 million students, 100,000 out of them has necessity for private lessons. EasyPass currently, skip the slide, EasyPass currently holds 10,000 and with the potential to expand to 20,000 by the end of 2022. It is very important to mention that EasyPass currently operates only in the territory of Serbia, but that our business model can be easily passed to any other country in the region, additionally all over the globe with adequate help and investment. Our idea is already validated, so the market need is proven, and at this stage of growth, we need more investment to paid marketing, to search engine optimization, for additional features, and also for new people employment. This is our team. There are 3 of us. Jan and me are co-founders of the idea. We are colleagues, friends. We both graduated at economics. We are currently on our master studies for business. Third member is not currently here with us, but he's equally important. He's a developer, and he makes sure that everything works properly. All 3 of us share the same values, and we're very proud how well we get along. As a conclusion, each one of us needs additional help for mastering skills. So let's share some knowledge, and because investment in knowledge pays best interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to ask about your competitors, for example, Brainly. How is it different? You know, they offer exchanging knowledge on specific topics already, so how do you differentiate?
What was the example?
Brainly.
Brainly.
Like very big platform.
Okay, so we actually did analysis mostly on our in Serbia, yes, and most platforms in Serbia actually do not have courses more than that individual approach. So we want to focus on just giving a private lessons for students when they need help, like 2 days before the exam or for mastering some skill, but for a specific topic. So they do not have to go through the whole course, but just to concentrate on certain issues with on one-on-one method with a professor.
Okay, so you are targeting Serbia first, and how big is the market?
I'm sorry?
No.
How big is the market in Serbia?
Well, we said on this slide we are operating already a year in Serbia, and our plan is to do our research till the end of the year for the regions. So to expand over the regions in the next year. Also, the potential of the market is really huge. So there is potential to grow globally, because as we said, this individual approach gives you to find a master if you need specific results on task, on help on something specific, so you don't need to spend a lot of time to search and to...
I totally understand, but this is what Brainly does actually. So like very similar solution, and you will, you know, if you go abroad, you will have strong competition. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, but the market is big, so...
I just want to add something, just a small tip, because that would probably make a difference. And I had the same question, Paulina, yesterday. You are actually doing private tutoring, right? Yes. It's a one-to-one. I've seen some platforms doing this for language exchange, where you go, you choose your tutor, you have an hour, you pay for that hourly rate, you receive the service. It's not a mass market platform for courses. And I think you need to try to articulate that a bit better, because that's why I think you have these questions. You are actually just doing private tutoring, aren't you?
Yeah, just for private tutoring.
Okay. Thank you.
There's also space for development in the courses market, but we want to be specialized just for...
Yeah, but you're actually going after this, let's say, underserved segment. So don't try to expand too much now. Just try to go into the private tutoring if you found there is an opportunity there. Okay. But just mention it on the slide or in your presentation, because it makes it easier to understand.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just wondering, how are you going to keep them on the platform, both students and teachers? What makes them stop to go offline and go around you once they found each other?
Yeah, it was the question yesterday. So no, it's okay. So they pay subscription fee on the monthly basis, and we are promoting the platform to the students, so they have continuously new students and to have continuously booked classes. And we also want to include some machine learning to suggest some educational materials based on their search on the similar subjects. So, and also to create some online community for sharing knowledge and experience and materials.
So professors will have continuously booked classes, constantly new students, so not just one, but constantly new students. They can earn additional income, and then they will have a community of other educators with who they can share their knowledge, experiences from other schools, from other universities, from other countries. So like a forum.
Yeah, and also for students, we want to create that habit that whenever they need help, either a language or for some exam, or if you need any skill in programming, designing, whatever, so this is the place where you can find help immediately, someone who can explain you and where you can learn from.
Great, thank you.
It is this way. Welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was the easy pass. Thank you to you two. Next up, we're going to welcome back to the stage Josip and Thomas from Split with Doc Me. Round of applause, please.
One, two, yep. A drone was lifted up, high sky above a marina. Internal inspection discovered more than 50% of illegal docking spots. But grey economy is not the only issue which requires modern solution in marina industry. After doing an extensive market research, we discovered that industry uses almost medieval methods to fight systematic issues, such as outdated processes, ecological and sustainability issues, time waste, and so on. But after having lots of experience, we decided to step in.
DocMe will enable skippers to book a perfect spot for their boat, which is finally possible through our advanced online system, which covers the whole marina 24/7 and live. The platform will reduce the overall waiting time and guarantee a perfect spot for the skipper. Thus, we will greatly reduce both overall diesel consumption and exhaust gases in the industry. In addition, every unused docking spot will be included into the working economy of the marina. In the end, when the system is finally set up and running, we will leverage different data sources that we gather to build machine learning models which will give us predictions and insights into the future. Simplified, our system works like this. Firstly, a skipper books a spot through our DocMe web application. Then, the spot reservation is received at the marina system. Finally, when the skipper arrives, the DocMe IoT device blocks the spot, and then it weighs the skipper.
DocMe offers sustainability across the industry by removing high-pressure points from geographically overused positions with too dense snail traffic. Furthermore, we boost the era of smart cities by tracking broad spectrum of various services which follow high number of boat arrivals on any location. For example, local utility companies such as Waste Management connect with us, boat repairs, and so on.
Here you can see the previous slide in action. Firstly, a skipper scrolls through our web application and chose a spot. Then the racing sailboat goes over to our IoT device and changes the light from green to red. Finally, the reservation is received at the Marina Live Map. On the next slide, you can see how the Marina Live Map would look like and work for a fully working marina. In addition, we leverage the data source from Indie Geoscientific portal to build a machine learning model as a proof of concept, which predicts the future sea level for Split, Croatia. In the last quarter of 2020, we started to build a solution, gathered the team, and finished our market research. Then, we won the 3rd place at the European Ocean Hackathon and started to build our initial prospect list of marinas. Finally, by the end of the year, we hope to achieve our first sales and finish our MVP.
So competition is mostly either focused on big logistical solutions. They have simple booking solutions, or they are, let's say, technologically inferior to compare to us. Consider it a team. There are 7 of us, each specialized in a different area. We combine both experience from lifelong naval industry experts such as Vonko to motivation from our hardware, software, and design specialists from the University of Split. Thomas, also here with me, is our AI project leader who draws the experience from big French IT corporation called Atos. Our blue economy solution is having recurring clients each year. Our predicted revenues per year per one marina are 55,000 euros, and the cost to cover it with our advanced network is 22,000 euros. And here you can see the propositions which we have for the potential VC investors. Our basic revenues in start will be gathered from the skippers who will pay a symbolic fee to use our services. From the 28 billion euro nautical industry only in EU, we're even bigger, we will accomplish partnership relationships with marinas and harbors. And as a second phase of scaling, we will perfect our dynamic pricing. And as a third phase of scaling, we will implement cross-selling to attract even restaurants, rental agencies, and even insurance companies. So, once again, next time while you are sailing away from beautiful port of Split or Saint-Tropez, remember that our innovative DocMe solution is a big part of your wonderful experience. Thank you very much.
So thanks a lot, guys. Just a question on your user acquisition strategy. Who is going to push this, the app to the skippers?
So for a start, we will approach the marinas who will have a benefit by reducing their cost and increasing revenues. But in the next scaling phase, the biggest push will be from the users who are end users, like skippers, vessel owners, or just the tourists. There's a big opportunity here with our AI software for the tourists, let's say, who don't know the area where they sail to. They don't know, let's say, how to avoid some of the bad weather conditions, and our AI will give them smart suggestions. So a lot of people will be simply encouraged to go into it and to ask for our software.
Who's going to pay for the installation of the device in the marina?
In the start, we are going to subsidize for several just to get the data and get the product out, but later on the marinas. But again, marina is not like our biggest first client. They are like more our partners.
Okay, thanks.
Question, thanks for the presentation. Can you take me back to the research phase, and particularly around the validation of the problem and how you've approached that? Who have you spoken to, potential customers or skippers, and also probably are they willing to, have you tested a price point, for example, and tested the price strategy that you're
yeah, we approached several biggest marinas here directly and contacted probably all of them in Croatia. So we got a really positive feedback on them. They are practically waiting us for deliver the product and to install them and just try to do the service here in a big marina near Split and one in Rogoznica. And they are willing to, let's say, participate in the initial cost because we told them we'll just cover the materials and the usage. We'll do the software and everything, for free for the first 2 users. And we definitely talked to many skippers and many users because our company Sailboat RC, which you can see here, logo of me and co-founder, is having already successful business for I would say half decade, and we have been on many races and regattas, so we know thousands of sailors, and Zvonko is a sailor from he's 7 years old, so we are constantly getting the bad experiences from all around marinas. Few years ago, you couldn't even get a simple booking solution and count that it will wait for you. So yeah, we really did any research there, and they are willing to implement our solution as fast as possible because there is a big need on the market for it, both from the marinas and the users.
Thank you.
I think you need to really be fast crossing the chasm.
Sorry.
I think you should be really fast crossing the chasm. I think you have a good market here where you're very competent, and I would really finance that with this initial money. Maybe you should take more to equip all marinas in Croatia, make them partners, and give them actually a kickback
They need more funds for that.
If they get you a new subscriber, they get, I don't know, a kickback, and then this becomes a revenue for them. Basically, they become your reseller, your sales partner. And I would do this rapidly. Within half a year, I would conquer whole Croatia, and then this I would do this year, and then next year you go to the next Mediterranean country and do it in the same way. Hire one good sales guy, a sailor or somebody from marine. In the next, let's say you go to Adriatic Sea on the Italian coast, or you go to Greece, and just boom, boom, boom. You need to do this very fast, because then you're the market leader. There's only one winner. Okay, this can be a de facto monopoly if you do it right. But you need to be fast. I think this is, and maybe I don't know. Maybe you can add some technology or even some competitive advantage in terms of IP. Maybe there is something in there because of intelligent moving of fleet, etc. I guess with all the guys that are in your team, you might have even patent ideas.
This network sensor has advanced algorithms to cover whole marina, so in the future it could be IP there.
You're solving the problem, and I would be very fast.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question. Just on being fast as well, it's the same problem of scalability I think we had with Windward, because I guess you have to go through every single sort of client customer to onboard them in using the platform. Is there a way, have you thought about a shortcut? Is there a larger company authority, a partner you can perhaps
yes, our European Union is here doing a great job for us to do the scalability because of the sustainability which our product offers. It's basically the only way to resolve the sustainability issue in the whole industry. So EU legislation in the next several years is going to just give us an enormous push in this area for them to approach us and search for our solutions instead of us to going one by one on each marina.
Great. And you had a slide with your competitors. You had a positioning map.
Here they are.
Why do you think of Marx as a competitor?
Far away competitor who is doing some research in AI and IoT, but they are doing like huge models for big ships and mostly big ports, which are not directly competitor, but they are developing technology. So
well, I'm actually thinking of them as partners.
Maybe they can scale down, but you know, it's really slim.
I think you should keep an eye on them. They are quite innovative and they work with startups.
Yes, but in big market, big boats, only big boats. Huge difference between big boats and marinas because they have like 200-meter tanker.
I'm going to stop you there. One question turned into two.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Round of applause. Okay, next up we have another team from Split. We have I'm Live with Ivan Magash.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Ivan and I will show you what I'm Alive is all about. So, we are a live video streaming platform focused on arts and crafts with the goal of creating the biggest online creative community for them. So, because we want to help artists to expand to a global market and at the same time fix the problem for audiences who are facing barriers for seeing such events. And this is where live streaming comes to play, because it's a great tool for reaching more people and finding new ways to present their work. And the best thing is that in little to no cost, anyone can watch it from anywhere. It's completely free and always will be, because we want to make sure everyone can use it. Anyone can sign up and start streaming in no time, whether you are a professional or just a beginner. And this is the best time to do it, because technology is getting better and better each day. Before, the web was only a search engine that you can find information on. And now it evolved in something much bigger, in social networks and much more. So 63% of people aged 18 to 34 are watching live streaming content regularly. And the second most watched type are concerts and festivals. And they're spending 8 times longer on live streaming than video on demand. So you see, there is a big market opportunity here, with a compound annual growth rate of almost 27% that will in a couple of years reach more than $100 billion, because live streaming is the leading segment in video streaming market. But with such a big market, there is also a competition to win it. And this is where we stand apart from other platforms like social networks where live streaming is not their main objective, but they just have it. We focus on arts and crafts, housing them all under a single roof without the fear of algorithm decreasing their visibility. And we are all live all the time, so no replays, no repeats, no rewinds, and no uploading of pre-recorded video. Just live now. Yeah. Our target markets are amateurs and early career artists who are performing original work and want to increase their reach and reach a global audience, with the main focus on music, spoken word, fine arts, performing arts, and English-speaking countries. This is just a sample of our users who are coming in all from Croatia, Serbia, Slovenia, Poland, UK, and US. And they all singing, storytelling, drawing. We also had Judeno Drvo Club streaming their fundraising event a couple of months ago, and I'm alive. Our main model is network effect, because we are learning from other tech giants like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and even PayPal, who didn't turn on their revenue tap until they got like 4 million users. And we'll also profit share with content creators through the ticket sales and web shop. We launched in January this year, and we are now focusing on private streams with a paywall. Our next focus will be web shop. So if you see an artist draw, you can buy that painting before it's even done. And I'm Alive is just the first step in what we envision for I'm a brand. There are more services that we are discussing, like I'm a booking or I'm a academy. And this is all brought to you by a team of experts, each in their own field. We have Vanya, who is our CEO and CFO, who co-founded a wealth management startup with an exit last year. Then we have Jana, who is our CMO, a client acquisition, marketing, and analytics expert with prior experiences in startups setting and executing marketing strategies. And myself, who has more than 10 years of experience in software development with the knowledge of how to create, deploy, and maintain this platform, and much more. So thank you all for your time, and come join us in building the next big thing, imalive.com.
No? Yeah. Thank you very much for the presentation. I would like to ask how you differentiate from Twitch.
Original work and creative sector, not gaming.
Thank you.
So thanks for the presentation. So you have already some users on the platform?
Yeah, we have about 300 users, and of them we have 40 streamers that are channels who are streaming their content.
Okay, thanks.
I guess maybe following up on that, what is the level of activity on the platform, and how do you going to stimulate that? Because obviously it's a two-sided marketplace, so the artists want to have an audience, and the audience want to have something to choose from. So how do you create that dynamic on the platform?
Yeah, so we are concentrating now on user acquisition, getting more streamers, more creatives to be on the platform, so we can offer that type of content to the viewers. So if we are bringing more users, then we are bringing viewers as well, because they want to see something on the platform. So that's one thing. And yeah, so we are really, really working on the user acquisition phase now, and because most of the people who already came to the platform are really satisfied, we got such positive feedback, and like 90% of them came back and bring their own people, tell their other friends, and yeah, so that's how we do it for now.
Thank you guys for the presentation. Just something to clarify, I saw in your slide, and I watched you yesterday, but it just got to me now. You said that you're only streaming live and there's no way to rewatch it, save it, nothing.
Yes.
Yep.
I can assume why, but can you elaborate why you chose this option? And is it possible, for example, to include a paid service for being able to watch or save it in your computer later on?
Yes, so maybe in the future we will have that option, but for now that's one of our biggest the differences between our competitors. YouTube does save videos, it's not really live, so Facebook as well saves all the videos, and most of the views come after they have already happened, so it's not really live. So that's our biggest
Yeah, it's a very common kind of fear of missing out factor. You have that in Instagram stories, in Snapchat, right? I like that you want to make it freemium, and I like the reference towards social networks. Obviously, they have huge funding behind them to survive. What's your plan about that?
Yeah, so we are also looking we are doing marketing for the artists as well at the beginning, because we don't have that many streamers for now, so we can do it. That's the plus side thing, we can promote them, and not only that, we have schedules, and so they can schedule their stream, so everything that is on the website or will be on the platform, you can see it. So apart from the social media, where they have millions and billions of users, there's an algorithm, and it's very, very hard to find someone you don't already know.
But how much money do you need to grow this platform?
So let's say at least 500,000 euros at the beginning to get to the next phase, to get the product market fit, and to increase our marketing efforts.
Thank you.
I very much like the idea that it's not recorded, that it's live, and I would never change this, because this gives you a USB versus the others. And the key question here is, are you going broad or are you going into verticals? So you mentioned culture and arts, or culture, and I would really do another round of analysis, because if you become, let's say, the go-to place where you find the hottest new stuff in this area, because if there is too much out there, so I think you need to pick one market that you go really deep, and I think it should be global, because the regional, you will not get the scale in this region, and not even Europe. I would really go, I don't know, pick one market, I don't know, some very specific market, and try to make this the go-to place where everybody you need to be on IMO Live, because that's where the new guy is performing tonight, or he tells the stories, or it's jokes, or I mean, I don't know. Yeah? And then, of course, you have then the schedules, because I need to understand when I want to watch IMO. So you need to promote your schedule. So you're basically a broadcaster, technically, and not technically, but de facto. You're acting like a broadcaster. You have a program. At this day, Josip will do his dance, and then African dance, and this dance. Let's pick dance or whatever. I would really go another round in terms of understanding which market is the right market.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, IMO Live. Round of applause, please. Thank you, judges, for your questions and for your feedback as well. It's one of the nice things at STup that I've always noticed. I mentioned to Lana yesterday how judges are not only asking questions but giving priceless feedback as well, and tips and hints. So thank you for all the judges for that. Okay, now we're going back online, back to India. Namaste, Shefali. Are you with us?
Hello, namaste.
How are you today? Aha, you're with your partner. Excellent. Great to see you too.
Yeah, Bhavan is here with me too, yeah.
Excellent, great. We decided that we're going to add India to the Balkan region. You're not going to be part of Asia anymore, you're going to be part of the Balkans, we've decided.
Wow, that's awesome.
If you could share your presentation, please, and then you can start when you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
About 20 to 25% annual crop yield loss, which amounts to around 36,000 million US dollars, is witnessed in India due to pest attacks. And farmers do not get labor on time, which is a major issue here. And due to this, the overall crop productivity is significantly affected. Also, farmers face severe health issues due to the prolonged exposure to harmful pesticides with the conventional methods that they use. Also, due to lack of knowledge in India regarding crop protection, there is overutilization of pesticides as well as water. So for these four problems, we have one solution, Krishi PS1925, which is a patent-pending drone technology for precision spraying and climate-smart agriculture. So there's a quick view of the specification of this drone. It can cover 4 hectares in an hour with 10 liters of payload capacity, 4 meters of spraying span, and 3.5 liter per minute of spraying speed. So we conducted a market research survey in around 100 villages in eastern Uttar Pradesh to understand and analyze the problems at the root level. So why should you choose us? And this is what our analysis is about. So we compared our drone with the conventional methods and practices used by farmers. So we got to know that we are using around 7 to 8 times less pesticides and 5 times less water than what farmers use in their conventional methods of spraying, using knapsack sprayers. And the time taken by us is only 15 minutes to cover 1 hectare, while a farmer takes around 10 hours to do so. With our technology, we can cover around 40 hectares per day, while a farmer can cover only 1.27. We are offering a price of around 1,500 Indian rupees per hectare, while all the costs round up around 6,000 Indian rupees per hectare to a farmer. According to this survey and all the calculations, our estimated market size rounds up to around 59 billion Indian rupees. Our business model is basically we're going to follow pay-per-use with 1,500 Indian rupees per hectare, and for subscription, we will be providing 1,200 Indian rupees per 5 hectares. Our unit economics is like this. Per hectare cost will be around 400 Indian rupees, which will provide us a profit of around 1,100 Indian rupees, and profit per year will be around 12 million Indian rupees. A competitive advantage is that we are using only one fleet of drones because it will bring down the maintenance costs as well as the certification cost, the training costs, the overhead charges, etc. And we are providing less cost per hectare compared to the conventional practices. And we are having a proprietary technology, as I already mentioned, that it is a patent pending technology that we are using for precision agriculture in India. And we are offering a pay-per-use and subscription model, which is new for the farmers in India. And we are targeting a niche market segment for crop protection. And our user profile is basically based on small landholding farmers so that we can cater to a larger audience and we can help those farmers by helping them all the problems mentioned. So we are both the founders of the company.
So I am Pawan, senior founder of the PS195.
And I'm Shifali Vinodramtike. We are both PhD research scholars at the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad. So we are amalgamating research as well as startup entrepreneurship to bring out this platform for farmers in India. And these are our advisory board, which includes eminent scientists from the Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Science and Technology, as well as our professors, supervisors from IIIT Allahabad, Madhuban sir, Krishna ma'am, Satya sir, Pratish sir, and Sunil sir. This is some of the recognition that we have achieved in all these years. We got a grant from Boeing, Cisco of $10K US and etc. So last but not the least, I would like to end with this note by World Economic Forum that if we could use precision agriculture technology, GHG emissions could reduce significantly. And that's what we are trying to do. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Okay, judges, over to you. And if you look at the camera over there, you'll look right into there.
Thank you very Now? Oh. Thank you very much for the presentation. Yeah, I would like to ask about your competitors and what's new in your solution, because as we know, drones have been used in agriculture for the last couple of years at least, so it's not new. So how do you differentiate from others? What's the innovation that you are bringing to the table?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we are incorporating actually precise application based on artificial intelligence algorithms, and we are combining we are optimizing the conditions for the Indian parameters. We are actually working on this research and development with the organization from the Ministry of Pesticide and Petrochemicals, that is Institute of Pesticide and Technology, which is in Gurgaon, India. So we are working with them on the optimization and standardization of drone based on the parameters in India. So it is going to be the first one in India and based on the conditions here, based on all the parametric conditions. Yes, ma'am. That's what we have been doing.
And who is your customer? Like you mentioned, small farmers, is it?
Yeah. So our customer, actually in India, there are three types of farmer segments: small landholding farmers, medium landholding farmers, and large landholding farmers. So basically, we are targeting the small landholding farmers which have less than 1 hectare or 1 to 5 hectares of land. Because for that only we considered this specific application of 10 liters of payload capacity, which might seem less for farms like in USA or other countries which have large farms, but in India we have small farms. So all the parameters that have been decided for our drone is based for those small landholding farmers in India especially. Yes, ma'am. And starting from Uttar Pradesh, Pawan here belongs to Uttar Pradesh, and the target market that we have set belongs to his village from the starting. So we'll expand from there, and there is a huge market base, as I already have mentioned. So that's what our plan is all about.
Okay, thank you.
What's the stage you're at right now, and how are you planning? What's the next step? Do you already have a drone, a prototype, a functional prototype, and how much money do you need to go further?
Ma'am, we have a functional prototype. With the money that we raised from Boeing and Cisco, we have developed a prototype, and we are working on more advancements on that. And we are looking forward to raise around $1.5K US so that we can actually optimize and parameterize all the conditions that I mentioned with the Ministry of Petrochemicals, IPFT that is called. And after that, from 12 to 18 months, after all the parameterization, we launch ourselves in market, because crop protection industry not only involves petrochemicals, but it involves the drone ministry as well. So we need to work with the Director General of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Agriculture, as well as Ministry of Petrochemicals. So we have all that planned out. Because of that, we have advisors from the Pesticide Advisor of India. Satyalan Sushil sir, he is the advisor to the Government of India. So we have been working closely with all of those people so that we can come to the market. We have the target market identified, but these barriers we have to cross. For that, we are looking for R&D funding. And we are also going to pitch to some Japanese investors as well for that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And just a follow-up question. Outside of India, what would be your largest market? Outside of India, what would be your largest market?
Outside of India? Outside of India, basically Southeast Asian countries. We have always been advised to look forward to countries such as Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, all the Southeastern Asian countries. Thailand, I already mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking, it's more of feedback, especially for R&D grants. You probably would like to target Singapore. It might be a good market to target for the R&D. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shefali and Paul. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, judges, as well. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our 8 pitches, which brings us to the start of the fights between the judges. Judges, if you please collect your things and follow the SPI team out of here to a secret bunker where no phones are allowed in there. And I have a couple of extra announcements in terms of prizes. So we heard yesterday about all the prizes available, but now we found out there's a few more as well. So Andreas, for example, mentioned that he'll be choosing one team to take to his in-residence program. And Renata as well will be choosing one team. Renata will not be choosing one team. Renata will elaborate after what she plans to do. Information changes quickly in this place. And I also get to choose one team as well, because the 6-month consultancy prize is with me. Believe it or not, I don't just speak at conferences. I have another life. Nor do I just look after goats, that's a rumor. Okay, we're going to go online now. Oh, okay, we're going to go around with the coffee list again. She's asking me what I want for coffee break. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's Saturday. We're allowed to chill. Just waiting for the judges to leave. It's like hoarding cats. Sometimes we don't know who it's worse to work with, startups, students, or judges. It's tricky. It's tricky. Okay, keep moving, keep moving. I'm Ovan. Hi there. Možemo malo brže. Opa, napokon. Okay, išli suča. Hi there, ciao. Vidimo se. Okay, good, they're gone. Okay, we are going online now, where we should have Diana waiting for us. Hey, Diana, how are you doing?
Hi, hello, great to be here.
Where are you at the moment, Diana?
So yeah, hello from Munich, Germany. I'm a little bit sorry that I'm not there with you in Split, but at the same time, it's quite exciting here because we have a very big European Championship match coming up today, Germany versus Portugal. So even though I'm not in the sunny and warm Split, there's still a lot of atmosphere happening around here.
Excellent. Yeah, good luck with that. It's a big match for you guys, so fingers crossed. So you're going to give us a talk now about innovation and customer obsession at Amazon. So if you can share your presentation and take it away, we're all ears.
Okay, I hope you can see my slides in the proper way.
Perfect, yep.
Okay, very good. So, hello again, and dobar dan svima, greetings from Munich. I'm Diana Međimurec. I was born and raised in Zagreb, Croatia. I finished university there, and right now I live in Munich, Germany, and I'm leading customer optimization enablement team for around 100 countries across Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Amazon Web Services. So first of all, before I go into my presentation, I really must say I've been listening to the pitches today, and there are really some interesting ideas. And what I found super impressive was the number of female founders. So it's really great to see the regional female talent stepping up and really showing what's possible. So I'm super excited about what's going to happen after the pitches today, and which companies are going to continue growing. So what I'm going to talk about today is the culture of innovation in Amazon and how we approach it. As you know, Amazon also started as a startup. It was founded back in 1994, and since then it's been innovating in a range of fields, from innovation in retail and warehousing, Alexa voice assistants, and cloud computing with AWS, where I am now. So what I'm hoping is that this session will serve as an inspiration to you, to the startups that are on both there in person and online, to you to think big as you build and grow your companies. So let me start with the founder. So the founder of Amazon was Jeff Bezos, and here's a quote from him, which states that the most radical innovation is that that enables others. So this is something that's been on the core of Amazon, and I've seen it also today in some of the pitches, and this is going to go and last throughout the presentation today, because this is the way, and this is how we approach innovation in Amazon. So 3 years forward since the foundation in 1997, this was the first letter to shareholders that was written by Jeff Bezos. And what he's saying is that this is the day one for internet. And the day one is almost like a catchphrase in Amazon, because we always say it's day one. So this shareholder letter is actually attached to every shareholder letter. Even now in 2020, the last one that we received, this was the one attached. That really reflects the day one mentality, which means that we are always early in the innovation stage. And this is the foundation of the culture that actually remains the key driver of success. So what does it mean, day one? It focuses on customer obsession and what the customer needs. So listening to customers and continuously observing the needs and improving their experience and innovating on their behalf. So it's around also resistance to proxies. So as your organizations get larger, and some of yours inevitably will do, it often happens that internal processes trump customers. So you stop looking at customer outcomes and you're just making sure that you're doing the process right. And a day one company always asks, do we own the process or does the process own us? Then the third point is around high velocity decision making. Speed matters in business, and we heard that today also from the judges, like go fast, execute fast. So many decisions that you'll do are reversible, and most decisions should probably be made with around 70% of information, because if you wait for 90%, you're probably being too slow. The outside world and embracing external trends means that they can push you into day two if you won't or can't embrace the powerful trends quickly. So if you fail to notice the trend that's coming your way. So don't fight the future, embrace them, and you'll have a tailwind, so something that's going to push you forward. So with this philosophy, in Amazon, we aim to be the Earth's most customer-centric company. So our innovation starts with the customer, and we work backwards from the customer. It's not just, as I was saying, it's not just about knowing what your customer knows or wants, but reinventing on your customer's behalf. And also, as you go through your growth journey, think about what is the mission of your company, and what are you trying to solve for, and what are you trying to give to your customers, and how you empower them. So a culture of innovation in Amazon is about 4 key things: customer obsession, long-term thinking, willingness to fail, and willingness to be misunderstood. So everything we do is for the customers, with the customer in mind. You might have heard a story about a chair, an empty chair being in meetings in Amazon, representing the customer. So we start with the customer needs and problems. Around 90% of new features that AWS introduced were really based on the customer needs. Then it's about long-term thinking and really being tenacious, but also flexible enough to ultimately accomplish the long-term vision. So be stubborn on the vision, but flexible on the details. It's going to take a long while, and it took also a long while for Amazon to become what it is today. Inventiveness means also a willingness to fail and willingness to experiment. I'm going to talk a little bit about the failures that we had and the experiments that we were doing. And also, you have to be willing to be misunderstood for a long time. So we need to really be comfortable, and the people in Amazon are comfortable being misunderstood for longer periods of time as well. So I want to introduce you the first concept from innovation, which is the flywheel concept. So we call it the growth flywheel, or a virtual cycle if you want. It's an underlying model for all of our business, and it's rooted in customer obsession. So instead of trying to foresee what will change in 10 years, if you ask yourself what will not change in 10 years, for example, customer will never say, I want higher prices, or I want things to be slower or not secure. So if you invest investment into the most fundamental needs of the customers that will not change, you will continue to grow. So let's take the Amazon growth flywheel or a virtual cycle. We'll start with selection. So if you provide customers with the largest selection, it will enhance customer experience, which in turn will generate greater traffic, and that will attract more sellers. More sellers will add selection and lead to increased growth. Growth allows for lower cost structure through economies of scale and vendor buying power. So then we pass those as lower prices to the customer, which then again enhances the customer experience, and then we come back to the virtuous cycle again. So we keep on iterating and iterating. So I want to give you an example of a real Amazon product, which is Amazon Prime. So Prime started out to solve the problem of a customer not knowing how much it will cost for shipping when they're shopping, right? So this is a big barrier to the commerce in somewhere in mid-2000s. So Prime was initially a subscription model, but in the spirit of the growth flywheel, we kept adding more and more value to it. For example, third-party sellers that took advantage of fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon holds, ships, and tracks their inventory for them, their products would be available for Prime, adding selection to customers. As more people join Amazon Prime, Amazon can further lower the cost for logistics and give that savings back to customers and so on. So Amazon Prime now also includes media and entertainment and same-day delivery. All these features and services contribute back to our growth. So what is your virtuous cycle and your growth flywheel? How is it working for you, and how is it working for your startup and for your company? Let me go deeper as well. So how do we actually organize for innovation? Because organization cannot solely operate on mentality or philosophy, but there needs to be a mechanism that actually can execute innovation. So here is how we do it in Amazon. First of all, we adopt the working backwards process, which I'm going to talk a little bit about more in detail. Then the second one is around adoption of the Andon cord principle. I'm not sure if you heard of the Andon cord, but it's a principle from Toyota's factories. So basically, when the car is at the assembly line, any worker can pull a cord or press the button to stop production if they notice a problem. And this happens also at Amazon. So support agents can pull a cord when they suspect a problem with their inventory, or so that issues don't spread to more customers. We also have automated systems that look for occasions when we have provided customer experience that's really not up to our standards, and then proactively refund customers. So Andon cord is really the important thing to have, and empowerment of people to actually be able to pull that cord is super important. And finally, the correction of error, which is a process that seeks to improve the overall quality of the systems by documenting events to identify the root causes and addresses them through trackable action items. It will be a description of what went wrong, the cost and impact, lessons learned, and action items that should be undertaken to prevent it from recurring. I said that I'm going to dive a little bit deeper in working backwards because this is something that is unique to us. So this is something that I would like to share as well. So let me go to the next slide. So rather than starting with an idea for a product and then trying to think about, okay, how the customers will actually bolt into it, we write a press release internally announcing the finished product. So internal press release is centered around the customer problem. So what are we trying to solve? How current solutions, internal or external, fail, and how the new product will blow away existing solutions. It is written before we start building. So it's the zero ground. And we want to confirm that our solution is the right thing to work on and to refine ideas. So with the press release, we leap into the future and imagine how we want the customer to feel and what we want them to say at launch. It's written for the customer, and it focuses on the customer experience. Apart from the press release, we write something that we call FAQ, so frequently asked questions. So they really go into the depth on how we will execute, describes the essence of idea and the details. The solid FAQ will uncover risk and help us decide if a project is really the right investment. Sometimes we even go further to even visually sketch what the experience will be like for the customer to design and think through the capability before we build it. So I highly encourage you, because as I said, we heard some really good pitches, I highly encourage you to actually write up how should the user feel when they're using the service that you want to provide, and what are all of those questions that might come up into how to actually execute that. So let me go to the second point on the architecture. Once we have gone through the press release and the FAQ, and we decided to invest in product or service, the question is, how do we build it? Based on what architecture? So Amazon used to be a monolith. So the website Amazon.com used to be a monolith that couldn't scale to allow 30-part sellers on the platform. And we've gone through a painstaking process of changing that to a service-oriented microservice architecture with loosely coupled applications that are built to scale and for speed. And the part of the growing pain was that we kept hiring all these engineers, but it was still taking a long time to get things done because 70% of developers' time was spent on setting up servers, networking, and operating system and patches. So basically getting the environment running. So we were not actually innovating as much as we hoped. So what happened then? In early 2000s, we created this API not only for Amazon.com, but also for web services to use infrastructure and compute networking on demand. So the self-service platform allowed for people across Amazon and eventually people outside of Amazon, our partners and customers, to experiment and innovate. And what came out of it is actually the Amazon Web Services, so the company that I actually work on. This shows all of the breadth and depth of the platform. It's not just computing and storage anymore, which is the foundation, but we have really built a robust platform for millions of customers and use cases. We provide comprehensive toolkit for builders to build, and this is the architecture we use. So Amazon.com, Amazon Go, Alexa, or are all at some capability using cloud and AWS to do it. They don't have to build data centers anymore to do what they're doing. They can just start running on AWS. I want to now show AWS and how we actually enable startups. So the capability of cloud actually made a large impact on the startup ecosystem. So based on the technological shift in the early 2000s, such as open source and horizontal computing, cloud computing has made it significantly cheaper for startups to innovate and disrupt. So coming back to the first or second slide, is innovation that empowers others and the virtuous cycle that it actually produces. So when it comes to startups, we keep on evolving our offerings. So in this slide, you can see a framework of programs that we offer to startups, and I encourage you to visit our startups page for more up-to-date information. As I said, we'll keep innovating also for startups in the architecture in AWS. So let's go to the third point around culture. So I talked about mechanisms, I talked about architecture, but in my view, the most important piece to be able to truly innovate is culture. Despite our size, and Amazon, has hundreds of thousands of employees, we retain a high spirit of entrepreneurship and we hire builders. We have in place guiding principles that are built into every part of our processes, including hiring and performance reviews. So what does that mean? In Amazon, we are guided by 14 leadership principles. So when we hire, we seek a diverse employee based with lots of different skill sets and backgrounds, but the common thread across all of them is that they believe and exhibit leadership principles. It is a large part of our hiring decisions, and we review how our employees consistently display these characteristics during their career at Amazon. It includes customer obsession and bias for action, and other examples include think big, deliver results, ownership, and exist on the highest standards. And this is really no joke. As I said, it really goes through hiring. So through interviewing, we really want to see if the people that we hire have those perspectives. When we promote and when we develop people, we also look at the leadership principles. It's embedded into the day-to-day life, and this is how actually we keep on growing. So finally, organization. One thing that is really important is the tolerance to failure that I already talked about. So this is another letter to shareholders from 2016, and where Jeff Bezos says, we're the best place in the world to fail, and we have plenty of practice. Just think of Fire Phone, the dash buttons, Amazon restaurants, just to name a few, and there is a whole list of failures, and they count in billions. And failure and invention are inseparable. We also have this concept of one-way door and two-way door decisions. So one-way door decisions are irreversible decisions. Two-way doors is a reversible decision. So you can try something, and if it doesn't work, you can come back out of it. So that's a two-way door decision. Most of the decisions that we take in day-to-day life are two-way door decisions, also in business. So we want to break down things to a series of two-way door decisions so that we can always come back and renovate. We know that most experiments will not work, and it's the cost of innovating. But the more we experiment, the more likely we'll discover the next billion-dollar business. we also experiment internally with different processes. And just as I was saying, my team started as experiment, but now it has grown to be something, a really huge department that is working across EMEA and kind of trying to optimize solutions and experience for the customers. Finally, there is a concept that we have around two pizza teams. So that basically means that it's a team that can be fed with two pizzas, so like 4 to 10 people, depending on the size of the pizza. Any team that grows beyond 11 people will exponentially increase latency. So at that point, all you're really doing is staying on the same page because you need to sync and you need to align, and this is what's wasting time. So we have leaders with a single-threaded focus overseeing a two-pizza team that is self-directed and autonomous to fuel innovation. So we call it a STL, or single-threaded leadership. So finally, all of these components that I talked about, so the mechanisms, the architecture, the people, and the culture, and the organization, they have fostered innovative thinking and new businesses at Amazon. And we got quite a number of examples across many domains. We never thought of getting into the business of drone development, but this started from the idea of making 30-minute deliveries to our customers. Amazon Go was born out of the idea that no one likes waiting in line at grocery stores to pay for the things. Amazon Echo, that powers Alexa as well, originated from wanting to give customers a better experience from listening to music. And all of these things started from working backwards process, writing the press release, and then multiple iterating and iterating. So with that, I'd like to thank you. And this is how we innovate. I'm not saying this is the right way, but this is what's worked for us. And we encourage you to experiment with some of this at your own organization, see what sticks or modify, and discover what works for you. So thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much, Diana, for that very insightful presentation. Round of applause, please. A few great takeaways there, and I'm sure some of our startups would also like to become the fastest growing 100 billion, whatever that stat was. So, very good. So you were able to watch some of the pitches earlier today?
Yes.
Anything there that you kind of picked up on or that you really enjoyed?
As I said, first of all, I was hugely impressed by female leaders and female founders, and I think there were a few solutions across a range of industries that I found interesting. So from agriculture, then from marine, there were I think 2 or 3 for marine, which I find insightful and which are really targeting a niche. I like the student and mentoring exchange. So kind of how do you facilitate that connection? Also, there was a side on mentoring, and by the way, if anybody wants to reach out for mentoring or help, I'm happy to help. Happy to take 1 or 2 startups to work with. I used to work with Techstars, a startup accelerator, so happy to take some learnings from there as well. And finally, I like which was the last one around the arts, the arts streaming. I think this was a really insightful presentation as well. So quite an interesting bunch and quite diverse. So curious to see where it goes next.
That's it. Yeah, definitely a diverse range of startups, which was great. Yesterday we had 34 present, so then they were the final 8. We'll share your link with the Amazon startups as well. Yeah, obviously everything's going to be published online, so keep an eye on that. And once again, thank you for joining us, Diana.
Thank you so much. It's great being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we've heard from a few speakers so far today, and if you have a startup and you miss some of those talks, well, unlucky, you won't be able to watch them again. However, there are some things that I've written down. So how many startups do we have in here now? Put your hand up if you have a startup. 1, 2, okay, we have a few. Okay, yeah, good. So one of the things that stood out for me when Andreas was speaking was about not raising enough capital. And I saw this yesterday when it came to people asking for money, but really small amounts of money, right? Like 50,000 euros or 100,000 kunas or something like that. So remember, these guys have got lots of money. And normally their lowest ticket price or whatever is going to be 500,000 or something like that. I think when we saw Renate's, it was 500,000 minimum, So again, when you're going into a pitching session, make sure that you're asking for a big amount, and you don't know what's going to happen. And that kind of links in with what Andreas said about thinking too small. Like a lot of the pitches are focusing on, say, the country, the region, whereas there's always that big picture, the global market. Obviously, you're not going to hit that first of all, but lots of the judges like to see you thinking that way. And that also opens you up to being able to pivot. If you see, okay, there are too many regulations in, say, Croatia or Serbia, okay, let's jump to the UK or let's jump to Germany and try it over there, having that mindset. And the other thing that was very interesting that Andreas said, and I wanted to ask him some questions, but he ran away, was getting the wrong investor. Because as he mentioned, that investor isn't just for a month or two, that investor is for years. So making sure, it's a two-way relationship. You're going to have to give, and you're going to take, and they're going to give and take as well. So making sure that you have the right investor on board, otherwise that could be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, we are just waiting now for Nicola to join. He's not quite here yet. I believe he's coming from Tokyo or somewhere. So we'll wait for him to join. I'll carry on talking, that means. Another thing Andreas picked up on was the hockey stick dream. How many of you here put financial projections in your pitch? Did anyone? Did no one put financial projections in your pitch? No graphs? Okay, fine. I only got 5 minutes. Fair enough. Okay, it's an appendix. Okay, yeah, good. So he said that if you are going to show your financial projections, make sure it's not like a Nike swoosh, it doesn't just shoot off to billions straight away. Because as he said, he's got loads of experience in the startup world. It's always kind of up and down. It's like the stock market rather than a whoosh. You might get that injection of cash from an investor, but that's not your revenue. The other one he was saying about crossing the chasm. So who here has early adopters in their startup? Who already has a few people using it? Over there? Yeah, a few people, early adopters. Taking that leap from those early adopters to the early majority, that's the chasm. That's where people fall down. And I was discussing this with actually with Vanya the other day about what makes the difference between a startup making it or not. By making it, that has many different meanings, of course. And one of the things was that perseverance and that persistence, that never give up attitude. And I know that's something, it is a mindset. And there are often things that come along and kind of entice you and really test your resolve in your startup. Do I want to carry on with this or not? Or do I want to go somewhere else? So think about that when you're doing your startup. Will you have that perseverance and persistence to keep going, which you'll also show to the investors? Okay, excellent. We have Nicola with us now. Good afternoon from Croatia, Nicola. Can you? Yeah, we can't hear you at the moment. Thanks. Can you?
Sorry, very common mistake of 2020, and I was muted. Nice to meet you all, and I'm glad to be here. Very happy to participate. Unfortunately, I got struck by a terrible cold. I was supposed to be in Split. I'm currently in Croatia, although I am based in Tokyo, as you said. But unfortunately, this cold stopped me from being there. But very happy to be virtually.
Okay. Well, we hope you get well quickly. So today we wanted to hear a bit more from you. As far as I know, you're the Director of Startups Ecosystem at Infobit. And we've seen a lot of pitches over the last couple of days. So if you're up for it, you've got 3 minutes to pitch the Infobip Startup Tribe to our startups here.
I've seen the tables have turned, right? So yeah, well, Infobip Startup Tribe is what I would say a classic startup program from a major tech company like Infobip. We are really trying to be close to startup, and we really are trying to support the ecosystem wherever we can. The easiest thing to do for us is do this through, obviously, our products and services. We are a global leader in what we do, and we definitely can provide support and services through that to any of the startups that try to reach out to apply and they want to use it. But of course, we don't want to stop there. We don't want to just use the products and services to give out to such startups. We also try to connect them to each other, connect them to the investors that we know in the community. We also offer them office space wherever we can. We have 75 plus offices around the world, so really a lot, pretty much almost in every country, on every continent, definitely. Obviously, when things go a little bit back to normal and things moving around becomes normal again. We also acquired recently the Infobip Shift conference that also started in Split. And so we offer our startups that join our, what we call it, Infobip Startup Tribe, offer to expose themselves and pitch at the Infobip Shift conference. Infobip Shift is going to go global, and we're going to have conferences in the US and in Asia next year. And then also we provide support with our product and sales teams. And this is also very interesting to startups, especially with the sales teams connected to the 75 offices that I mentioned before. We have, if you need market entry assistance, if you need help finding partners, we can always help with that. We have, if you have a startup from, let's say, Austria that wants to go to Brazil, we put you in touch with our Brazil team, and they help you out in whatever way they can. So it's a very new program we launched about 3 weeks ago, I think. So you're probably the first event we're participating in. So happy to be here. We already had over 150 applications from startups around the world. And when I say around the world, I mean around the world. So we're happy to have any startup that seems fit that we can help them in any way, and we can provide any support that we can.
Excellent, perfect. Thank you for that great introduction. One of the things, obviously, you are a sponsor here and you're providing active credits for products and services. Can you give me an example of like maybe one or two of those products or services that could help startups?
Yeah, that's a little bit tough because we have a lot of products and services, but that makes my job a little bit harder. But in terms, we are an omnichannel communication leader globally. So whenever you need to talk to your customers in whatever way, we provide services for this. And when I say any channel or omnichannel, I literally mean it. We offer services for SMS, for voice, for WhatsApp, for Viber, for even if you go something more regional like Line and Kakao Talk and WeChat in Asia, and many others. What we do well is we integrate this all into one platform. So we provide additional SaaS services that can help you talk to your customers, customer support, and any other interaction you might have. For startups that are still unclear in what we do, I usually say, whenever you get an SMS from your Uber that your ride has arrived, or an email from your bank that the funds have been transferred, that's probably us.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things, obviously, being part of this kind of conference, this kind of organization, you're in talks with Lana from SPI. So what other kind of partners are you looking for to help signpost startups to you?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, because partners are the essence of our endeavor and initiative here. So we usually partner with venture capital funds, with accelerators, with incubators. Why? Because we know startups tend to, be around those, and then we can also provide something to those, partners, so their startups can thrive. So that's one thing. But then obviously events and grassroots organizations, NGOs, anything connected to actually boosting the local ecosystem for us is crucial, because we partner with some of the leading accelerators in the world, like, Y Combinator, 500 Startups, Techstars, etc. But this is not it. We want to build the ecosystem. Well, I say globally, but locally. You can't reach Ugandan or Indonesian or Swiss startups if you're not there, right? So we have to be on the ground. We have to have local partners. We have to go to events like this. As I said, it's a pleasure to be at this event, even though virtually in Split. And we want to be involved because this is where the true innovation comes from. This is what I said, the grassroots thing. And we definitely want to support more and more and participate at more of those in the future.
Perfect. And so you just mentioned like Uganda and Switzerland. In terms of like recruiting startups, do you have anything like demographics in particular, or any priority groups, anything like that?
No, not necessarily. So it really depends. I would definitely say we are agnostic on any. We have startups that applied from Nepal and Sri Lanka and Brazil, and obviously a lot of them from Croatia, because Infobip is a bit more of a household name here. And but we, in terms of recruiting, we are very, very open. I have to say we are very liberal in terms of accepting startups into our tribe, into our Infobip startup tribe. So we set the rules on if you go on our website, you're going to check it out. We said we support startups. To apply, you have to have less than 100 people and up to $5 million in funding. One of those two conditions have to be satisfied. But actually, we also said we are very open to exceptions, because I'll just give you an example. We have met tech companies that have been around for like 15 years. They're from like smaller ecosystems and countries that just never had the chance to interact with investors, right? But otherwise, they have huge potential, great people, great technology. So we want to support those too. We don't want them to fall through the cracks, right? So anyone is open to anyone. We accept any demographic, any country, any product. As I said, as long as you have a use case to talk to customers, which is what we, pretty much important to every startup. You can always talk to us and apply. And then if we think you are not ready, we can always provide some feedback and give you some additional assistance, or maybe you can come back at a later stage. But as I said, we are pretty liberal, pretty open to everyone.
Perfect, thank you. Nicola, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been at Infobip for?
Oh, very short, about 3 months, just a bit less. I'm a new, I just joined, I think April 1st, so 2.5 months. It's a good day to start your new job, I assume. But other than that, I've been in Japan for the last 10 years. I've been working with the tech sector, and for at least about 6. I have, my background is in the public sector. I used to work for the UN. Then I worked at Nikkei, which is a big media company in Japan, and we worked a lot with startups globally, hence the passion. But then when Infobip called, it was, well, it's a company from my home country, but it's also a truly global company, unicorn. We are eyeing an IPO. It's like a starting point for something great happening in this region. So, and a great program, like launching something new, is something I couldn't pass.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, as you mentioned, Infobip's Croatia's first unicorn, and you've just entered, so you see it with fresh eyes, right? So I wondered if, from your kind of short time there, whether you can say anything that's maybe that kind of reveals why it became a unicorn, and how maybe other startups could follow in that success.
Well, yeah. Well, that's, I would say, $1 million question.
Billion.
What we can do. There is so many ingredients for success. There is obviously books and books written upon this. Infobip is a very unique story, very unusual. Infobip has started in Vodnjan, which is a town in Croatia, up north on the coast in Istria. Vodnjan has, I think, 4,500 inhabitants. And the founders, Roberto and Silvio and Isabel, they literally work from the garage there, a little bit like the Google garage and the Apple garages that you all see in the presentations about entrepreneurship and startups. And they basically made a $1 billion company without any outside funding. Until last year, they raised the first round of about $200 million. Which is pretty impressive in the tech world. Building a unicorn without any funding, it's pretty insane. And then opened offices around the world, raised funding. We just announced a few weeks back we're raising another round pre-IPO, about $500 million plus. We're targeting an IPO in the US. So pretty crazy story of success. I think, well, our friends from Amazon talked a little bit about customer centricity as well. I think this is something that we are extremely focusing on. We work with the biggest brands in the world, and some of them used to be startups, Uber and Strava, and some big ones like PicPay in Brazil, if you know, and Rappi. These are like huge companies that we basically helped build and grow, and they were the focus of what we do in the communication platform CPaaS that we offer. And definitely perseverance. And then what I've learned since I've been here for the last 2 months, culture is really important. I used to work in startups. I have little tolerance for slowness. But then what I've learned from all the colleagues and all the other teams in a big company like this, by the way, Infobip has almost 3,500 employees now, which is, if you might notice, almost as much as Vodnyan, the town where it all started. Everyone is super supportive. We always have this let's go get it, let's solve it attitude. There's no ways, this can't be done. So this is something that I extremely admire. I think this is actually at the core of its success. And we have this saying that we use all the time, that's all around the walls in our campuses. It says, we are just starting, and we always feel like that, right? So even though we grow, we are still trying to have this we're just starting mentality and square one. Amazon was talking about day one as well, Diana. So I think there's something similar there as well.
Excellent. No, great to hear that. Great to have a local success story on that scale as well. So especially, we've got a lot of people here from Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Slovenia. So for people to kind of be inspired by what's happened locally, compared to always thinking that it can only happen in America or in the UK, Silicon Valley or whatever, is a real important thing for Infobip to share. I have a kind of cheeky question. I hope you don't mind me asking, but they always say it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. So my question is, so we're meant to have 6 startups, but now we have 8 startup finalists, and originally you were going to provide active credits to the 6. Any chance of chucking in some more active credits for the other 2?
Well, you're putting me on the spot right there in front of the audience, but definitely yes.
Thank you very much.
I don't really have to think about it. As I said, it's open. The applications are open to anyone as well. Anyways, it's just that coming through partners is always dear for us, because we know people put extra effort, people put more interaction. As I said, whenever we can support. The more, the merrier.
Perfect, thank you. And finally, so what's the website to find all of this stuff on about the tribe?
Yes, it's very simple. It's startups.infobip.com. Infobip is spelled with a BIP, not in BEEP as it would be in English. And the program is called Infobip Startup Tribe. You can find it in the media, but you can just go to the website. It's pretty straightforward. As I said, we're very passionate in creating ecosystems all around the world, everywhere. And as you said before, like, incredible success stories are possible from a smaller town like Vodnyan. If they're possible from Vodnyan, they're basically possible from wherever you are. And this is the beauty of this industry. This is the beauty of tech. This is the beauty of startups. So keep at it. You have to work hard. You have to be a little bit lucky sometimes, and then hopefully we can help and support in any way to help you achieve your dreams and success with your startup and idea.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Nicola, for joining us today. Hope you get well soon. Have a rakia or pelinkovac or something that will help you out.
I think I'm going to go for pelinkovac, yeah. But rakia might be better.
I hope to see you soon in person as well, Nicola. Have a good day.
Likewise. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Hope to be there in person next time.
Thank you. Ciao. Okay, great to hear from a couple of huge companies about what's available to all of us, right? And so if you do have a startup, go apply and see what happens, because there's nothing wrong with applying and seeing what happens, especially for free credits and stuff like that. We're going to take a coffee break now. So coffee is back in the cafe, and then we'll be back at 1 o'clock for the presentations, yeah? So 1 o'clock, you've got 17 minutes to drink a coffee. So you're not going to drink it like a Dalmatian, you're going to drink it like an Italian, yeah? Up, back, down. See you in 17 minutes. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. Your seats. It's okay, it's fine. People are just slowly coming in. Okay, we're waiting for a couple more judges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a couple more teams to come down. Oh. So for those of you that weren't here, we had some great talks from Amazon and Infobip. Just to tell everyone what's available for startups. So check out their startup pages. There's Infobip Startup Tribe where you can get support expanding, scaling, and also with Amazon they have startups program as well. We also made Infobip ensure that 7th and 8th place also get the Infobip active credits as well. So that's for everyone. Anna Maria, hi. Are we ready? You don't know where Lana? I know where Lana is. She's having a coffee in Funky. That's all she ever does. That's what happens when you work for a university. You don't work, you just drink coffee. It's true. No, everyone knows the term Orklebreid. I'm joking. Lana is a very hard worker. Okay. Are all the judges here? We're missing Eva. This is a theme. So the judges have obviously been marking you over the course of the 2 days, and then they took in the eight pitches today, marked you on those themes that we talked about on day one, you know, your team, competition, revenue, all of that stuff. And also a bit of it is looking through their own vision of where you could go, right? They scored that up and they marked you from 1st to 8th, which we'll show you later. We'll show you the whole table a bit later. However, I'm just going to read the top 3 places. So I'm just waiting for the checks to come in before I can actually read them to you. Petra, where are these checks? Huh? Where is Lana? Where are the checks? This is a recurring theme. I'm going to put this piece of paper down because that's where the results are. Every year we say 1 o'clock results. It's 1:06, no results. But it's really just to build the tension, right? It's just to build a lot of tension. Yeah, yeah. Well, normally that's because people are so drunk they have to stagger back to their chairs. You know, unfortunately. To keep going. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Keep. My skills. Okay. I'm not. Well, actually, last 2 years ago, we had a Spanish guy here who had a guitar. So after waiting for 7 minutes, we just invited him down to play. Do we have any guitarists here? Sing. We've got a huge screen. We could do karaoke, KTV. Yeah, my song is actually it's actually Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. It's a fairly big song. I don't quite hit the high notes, and that's when people normally put their fingers in their ears. Yeah, that's it. But no, KTV's fun. So next time we'll get the karaoke machine here, and we'll do that. What's your karaoke song then, if you're a good singer? Is it? It's not Robbie Williams, is it? Angels. Beatles, Amy Winehouse. Oh, okay. So you can hit those high. Maybe something to do with your underwear being too small. If you can hit those high notes. Cool. Okay, I'm glad everyone's got their masks on now because there's going to be a lot of photos coming up. I want to say again a huge congratulations. Those pitches were really good. You could see you'd fine-tuned things. Some of you really hit home on some things that weren't understood the day before, which was really great, and I think the judges picked up on that. So it was a lot clearer than the day before. And that's actually one of the key things as well. When you put people up here to pitch, you want them to be your best presenters, but you also need to make sure they understand all elements of the business. And okay, something like STup, for example, is a great time to practice that for the first time or the second time, right? Because that will help you kind of develop those skills, hear those words, hear those questions, so you know for future. So when someone asks what's your market, you'll know that and stuff like that. Okay, here comes Zvone. Okay, don't reveal anything, Zvone. That's it. Keep walking around the side. Don't reveal anything. This is Gospodin Zara. I've renamed him. He's one of the most stylish people that I've seen. He's really embarrassed now. He's been so stylish. He's outstaged me. I feel like it's my wedding day and he came in white or something. So, okay. Now we can begin. Lana is here. Don't let them drop either. Okay, good, good. Okay, Lana is here, the queen. And now we can go into announcing. So, third place of STup 2021. Now we can do a drum roll. Drum roll. Congratulations to Maccabi Agritech. Round of applause. So obviously he's online. Is he online?
Yes. I'm here.
Congratulations, you take away $12,500 of active credits, as well as loads of other prizes, subscriptions, and you'll hear a few more prizes a bit later, so stay online and we'll share all of that with you.
If I could say something, thank you very much for this award. This is just a proof that we are doing a great job as a team. And thank you very much.
You deserve it. Well done, Marco. Thank you very much. Okay, that's third place. Next up, we have second place at STup 2021. Congratulations to Doc Me. Round of applause. Oh, for goodness sake. Well done, guys. Bravo. Good work. Good. I moved away from them. So that leaves us with one prize left. I'd like to invite Michael up, who will be presenting the prize to the winner. Two Michaels. M squared. Okay. So, the winner of STup 2021 out of 34 teams representing 16 universities from 10 countries is Alumio. Congratulations, guys. Come up here, please. Congratulations to the team Alumio for winning.
Great. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Michael's now going to share a bit more about the prize.
Yeah, so firstly, I'd like to congratulate the winners primarily, obviously followed by the second and third place startups, but equally to all of the contestants that took part in today's competition. You know, the path of a startup's never easy, so some words of wisdom for you would be that, you know, I can tell you I wear the hat of the CEO of Wolf Summit, but I embrace a higher purpose, and that's in bringing people together and a belief, a rock-hard belief in a world that's better today. So, in my opinion, innovation is the key to developing us as a global society and changing the world for the better. So it was really inspiring to see all of your solutions. And, you know, over the years you may need to pivot, you may need to change team members, you may need to have some really hard decisions, but, you know, maintain that core belief and the faith in yourself and those around you, and you'll succeed. So, having said that, the opportunity, you know, all of the solutions we saw over the past 2 days were amazing. We'd like to welcome all 8 startups to Wrocław in October, so we're giving away free hybrid passes to every startup. Obviously, the Indian-based solution will probably like to come with a virtual pass. The winners, I'd like to invite you free of charge, so we will fly 2 of your team members over and accommodate you during the event as well. Okay?
Thank you very much, Michael. Congratulations, Alumnio. Now you just have to decide which 2 of you 4 have to go. Oof. Okay, next up I'd like to invite Andreas, who also has some interesting news for us. He's going to share one prize and explain the judge's decision.
Yes. So I have the pleasure to talk a little bit about the decision process. So I tell you, all 8 startups and finalists are real winners. Okay, so some are coming more from the academic side, some are coming more from the real startup side and already having market traction. But I'm really impressed. I travel a lot. I've seen many of such competitions, and I really congratulate everybody for this big success to come here to do this. And in the future, maybe more people are in the room then when we are allowed to do more without masks and without distance. I think this is well done, Lana. Thank you for this great job, and your team for doing everything nice. And of course, I'm open to anybody of the winners and to all the other teams if you need anything. I think everybody can have access to the presentation and to the email. You can always access me. But as a special, I would say as a special gift and also honor to you and honor you that you have won, I'm inviting 2 of you to our Startup Executive Academy starting on the 9th of September in Salzburg for 3 days in our castle, and then 5 online sessions. And because I think on your side you really need to develop the go-to-market strategy, and this is exactly what we are teaching. We're not teaching about you have your technology ready, hopefully, and filing your patents, hopefully, etc. But then it's all about go-to-market. So I want to give you these 2 tickets for coming to Salzburg, and happy to have you here. Huh?
Thank you so much. Sorry.
A round of applause. Going to a castle in Salzburg. Not bad.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, guys.
Okay, and I'd like to now invite Renata up, who also has an invitation.
Thank you. Hoćete mi sad metnuti onu web stranicu? Congratulations to everybody. The choice was difficult, but as my colleague said, everyone is a winner. When I was presenting the fund, the Feels Good, the Social Impact Fund, then some of you said, well, your smallest ticket is 250,000 euros. I mean, it's too big for us, we are the beginners. Yes, and this is true. And this is the problem in this area, in this region that we have, and this is the gap in this first seed financing rounds. This is why we are working on this, on the development of the financial instrument that is called Business Angels Impact Fund. So we are building another fund that will be operative next year. And that will make sure that the startups like you, who are at the beginning, get right angel investor. Angel investor is a person who gives you some money, but money is the less important in this case. He gives you the mentoring, and he opens the sales channels for you and helps you with networking and the experience. So we are pulling together here in the region the angel investors who will invest, and then the fund will double the investment. And these are going to be the tickets from 10,000 euros to these 250 that you will all need. In order to do that, we are building a base of the startups and of the teams, and this is the website. So just see the website. It's BIAFHR. And apply to the round. By attending this competition here, you have earned the direct and free access to the next round. There will be 2 more rounds. The next is starting in 8 days. I suggest you apply for that one. It is very easy because it's online. And the courses are pre-recorded, and you listen when you want, and when you have time, you are guided and you do the assignments. It will help you improve your pitching and improve your business canvas and give you the things we were asking as jury and you wouldn't expect. There is a big, so the next one is from 28th June to the 15th of July. And at the expense of the organizer of the project, we have a live boot camp. It will be in Rijeka on the 15th of July. And the next round, if you don't have time now, is in September, and it will happen in Split. So the whole course is online, and then the live boot camp is somewhere on the spot. So there are 2 more batches, and I encourage you to apply. And there is you will Google the page, and there is a strong network of mentors, of great guys from the industry and from the academy, and you can benefit from them, and this is what is worth for you. So we are welcoming you to join. We will take you all.
Thank you very much, Renata. A round of applause. And thank you. Congratulations against... I'm just going to stand next to this guy again. Okay, so, more photos. I'm going to keep speaking though. So we're coming to an end of the program in terms of being here in the... all the judges come up, okay. Let's finish the program and then we'll do the photos. Thank you, Lana. So we're coming to the end of our program here. So a few things to announce before the end. First of all, a huge thanks to our judges. A huge round of applause for them, please. They've been great throughout, giving you feedback, being able to network with them, so don't miss out on that opportunity. There'll still be more chances with our 5 o'clock tour of Split. You'll get a WhatsApp message. And then later on Badžvica, bring your swim stuff because it's time to drink and go swimming. First you swim, then you drink, that in that order. So we'll hopefully see you down there. So make sure you make the most of that. Thank you to all of you participants, for all the teams that are here today. Round of applause for yourselves, for them. And dotted around, you'll see a few people working on the cameras, on the sound, on the mixer. I think there's a DJ over there. He definitely looks like a DJ. So a huge round of applause for them. It's really not easy doing a hybrid model because there are so many variables, as we've seen over the last 2 days. Next up, a huge thank you, as we've already thanked our organizers. There's a small team of people in there who have made this all possible. I want you to stand up. The volunteers from SPI, stand up please, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. These are the guys that are running around, getting messages, being told what to do, and also proactively doing things as well. You can sit down now. They've worked hard for the last few years. I've known some of them for a while now. And it's great to see people volunteering, getting involved in this stuff, and gaining those skills. But obviously, their minions would not be able to do what they do without their queen, Lana. A huge round of applause for Lana. Osh, jel možeš? Dobro. Lana doesn't like standing up, but Lana, brilliant. I need to pick you up first. Lana is a superstar here in Split. She networks really well. She's bringing people from America, from all over Europe as well. We had a startup team from India apply. Like, Lana's network is forever growing. She puts so much effort into everything she does here in Split. She does it from the bottom of her heart as well. We're really lucky to have you here. So Lana, come up and say something.
Okay, Michael basically already said all the thank you, but what I can say is from what I've seen these 2 days, that I really do believe that we have some diamonds here, as Andrea said, and I really do hope that this competition, this event, will be a positive boost in all of your careers in further developing your startups. I really hope you had a great time here in Split, and see you next year.
Thank you, Lana. So that is all from me. Thank you very much all. We're going to do photos outside because it's sunny. Why would we do them in here? Winners and judges inside. Okay, fine. I'm getting out the way.